I'll be right back.
About that one.
Like literally across the room.
Hello.
The
Live and in color.
the tavern has hard floor, hard walls, hard ceiling, big empty room.
Oh,
It'd be bad.
got a whole bunch of them sound isolating tiles.
I'm back. Look how long it was.
Wait, can y'all hear me?
How
from
long
here?
was that?
Juice on your floor.
You might want to scoot up a little bit.
Okay, well, I was just curious.
I can get you a pillow or something to put behind you so you don't have to sit all the way to the back of the chair.
You want this chair?
No, I'm fine. I was just curious.
Do you want something to put behind you?
No, I was just curious if I could do this or not.
I don't know. Keith wasn't here.
Can you hear me if I hear?
You guys have gotten seemingly quieter on my. Are y'all not talking towards your microphone?
We're all about this. Hey, stop.
Is this better?
I'm talking
Yeah.
just askew of the mic. Is that
Okay,
okay?
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
John sounded good too. As long as you enunciate what you doing, buzz. Oh, Ponce, welcome to the stream. Hoss, how you doing, buddy?
Full disclosure, I had a teacher in school that combined the word pronounce and enunciate and would say pronunciate all the time.
That don't sound
So
right.
honestly, until I was like 20 something years old, I thought pronunciate was a real word.
Now,
And
that
somebody's
don't
like, that's
sound-
not a real word. And I went to go look it up. I'm like, dang. So like my third grade teacher got this wrong this whole time. That's where I went wrong in life right there. I've been pronunciating everything wrong.
Oh, Ponce good thought I would listen to the sweet sounds of Tank before I log off. It's not just the sweet sounds of Tank. You got all five of the dungeon boys up in here. I guess you four are really the dungeon boys, and I'm like the dungeon.
Dungeon man.
Well, I just started, so I don't know if I would consider.
You qualify.
You're a dungeon boy.
Lad.
If you're
Dungeon lad.
We'll have to plan out a song to serenade you with, Ophons.
Yeah, all the boys, the gang is all here. We're gonna we'll clue you in here for viewers of the show. We got an extra little surprise for you. We got a little something called Owl Bear Rodeo that we are using to track combat tonight, as opposed to the Awe app where we draw everything. I'm very excited about this. It seems like it's going to make things a lot easier. And to be honest, it may even make the Foundry thing that we downloaded that I paid for somewhat obsolete. Not really. I do want to learn to use that. That's going to be very cool. But this will definitely get us by.
Before we start doing stuff, does this pan thing move the whole thing for you, or does it just move it on my screen?
Just for you,
Just-
baby.
Yep.
It's
So
all
this is not screwing y'all up?
No, I'm not seeing any movement.
Okay.
Oh,
That's nice.
in case you guys didn't know, you can also use dice that are provided via Owlbear.
Hey.
Yep.
In the top right corner, it's got a dice tray. Or top left corner, I'm sorry.
Really? Show the dice
you
tray.
can-
Wow.
You can make it like public or private or
Very cool. Maybe that's how I need to roll on to let everybody see my rolls. No.
That's insane.
right.
Wait, did everybody see that
What?
Oh gosh, we got trouble with your webcam, guys.
already?
Yep. Tef is summoned alert. Welcome to the stream, buddy.
It's our
yeah,
natural
totally.
face.
All right. Did y'all see the dice roll that I got though?
No, we don't see your dice.
100.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see the 100. Sorry, excuse me. I do see the 100.
The first roll of a D100, I got a 100.
Nice.
Congratulations, sir.
Well,
You get to reset a webcam.
yeah. We assumed that things would work because last week they worked all the way through the show, but we did have some issues starting the stream last week. Also, hi, Mark.
Great place for that freeze too.
That is terrible.
Bryce is about to pick that nose. Let me get Mark his reward.
I did
What
not
am I
hit her.
doing?
It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her.
I am
did
going
not.
to turn
Oh,
off
hi,
the
Mark.
camera
Yeah?
in Zencaster, and then I'm gonna unplug it IRL, and
Yeah.
then plug it back in, and then turn it back on.
Okay.
We'll see if that doesn't screw everything up. You ready?
Here's hoping.
Oh wait, we're not recording yet, are we?
No, we're not
We're
recording
just
yet.
streaming.
We're
Okay,
just
then
streaming.
Keep on
I don't
streaming.
actually have to do all that.
We're just streaming. What's up, Mark? What's up, Tef? You still haven't caught up with last week? That's all right, Mark. We're about to tell you what happened last week if you don't want to catch up, but I'd say it was a good episode.
last week was a lot of well, we're back and just kind of getting caught up on stuff, and then that's about it. We had a little bit of combat going on, and I think we're just about to get into the thick, meaty, juicy goodness of it.
Yeah, I would say lore-wise, I see you moving.
Hello. Howdy.
I would say lore-wise, you're probably good. Or not, you're not. You would want to go back. Lore-wise,
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
probably want to go back for some. I'm not going to cover everything.
Yeah.
And there was some good like budding RP going on there as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
Faux show.
Faux show, my sons and daughters. Faux show.
Bob, is that you?
I'm filling up this dice tray.
All right. One other thing I'd like to do is go to File Explorer and find another thing that you guys might want to see.
See what there is to see.
You guys, I have committed a sin.
What is it?
I trimmed my beard.
Oh.
It's now short.
Another one bites the dust.
But this right here, this one section right here, I never managed to get this one with the razor, so it's still as long as it was. But all the others are really short. I think this one- Now, I got the one on the left. But this
There you go.
Those right there at the corner, for some reason, they get me too. Mark says,
Rounded off.
that's actually Bryce's house, Mark, and Mark said that the textures of your wall have not loaded in. It looks like you're just in a PDF room.
How about that right there? You like that? Courtesy of Brinley.
What? Oh, the sideways? It's going the
See
wrong
that
way?
Tile?
Oh, I see it.
Had to fit it in there.
The pattern of the whole room is completely screwed up after that point.
Oh, goodness. Guys, let's
It's all good.
let's get this thing, you know what I'm saying?
Let's do it.
Let's get it on.
Ooh.
Is our camera feed better than it was last time?
Seems
Oh,
to
look,
be.
there's juice. Josh, put down your hand.
Yeah, there's a puppy. The puppy's on there. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We're about to get things started. We're about to get things going, and we will see how things will be. You guys ready to begin? I went back to work for the first time today in a year. I'm back in the office, so my preparation time was lacking. So please forgive me for any oohs and ums, and let me check my notes that we might endure today, okay?
It's all good, brother.
And John, my notes also have not changed all of your instances of your name to your current name. So if I call you by the wrong name, I apologize.
Okay.
Cletus.
Guys, there's a tool to measure distance. On
Destroyer
our-
of squirrels. Yeah, I saw that. But only if the grid is set to the right grid.
The pain.
Right to the right gridness.
To the right gridness.
I am at least 0.3 grid.
I should never buy gridness from a moil. It's so chewy.
All right.
Juice.
We'll see how things go tonight. And we're going to get things pippin' and a poppin', and we won't stop a rockin'. All right, let's go ahead and begin the podcast portion of the show, if you guys are prepared for that.
I am prepared.
Okay.
My body is prepared.
All right. In 3. Well, hold on. I always do this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dungeon Boys. My name is Keith, and I will be your DM.
And Josh playing as Arlo, your forest gnome druid.
John playing Eros, your tiefling cleric.
And Bryce playing the all-new Jack Lowe, the paladin.
I am Zenus playing Grim the Barbarian.
Yes, indeed. You all are. Zenus, I don't know if you can get just a hair closer to that microphone. I feel like you might have quieted since last we tested. But last week we need to do some recapping because last week lots of things happened. We came back from a hiatus. I've got to ban somebody in the Twitch chat who wants me to become famous. Goodbye.
Wow.
I don't want to become famous. Not from your ilk, sir.
Not today.
But last week we got back into season 2. Very fun. We are back in the world of Medine. Where it is a world that I have created, a world fashioned from my own mind, and in which we have determined that there are all kinds of things going on. Go back to episode 1 to get fully caught up. Good evening, Mr. Soul Creek. Thank you so much for the host. I appreciate you, sir. But to the quick version is that the party survived the magical explosion of season 1, but 2 of them were changed fundamentally in what they were. Jack was changed. Jack, we determined, possibly could be a different Jack from an alternate plane of existence. Grim was changed from a cleric to a barbarian, who still does his punchies. Burb, their lovable bird companion, has just disappeared completely, is gone without a trace, and they go back to the Full Hammer Mine where the leaders of the Servants of the Scale were. Some things happen there. They resurrect one of the leaders of the order that they are a part of, as well as they get new orders from the leaders of the Servants of the Scale. Not new orders, they get reevaluated orders. They also add a new companion to their party, Eros, the tiefling trickster cleric played by John, who has been added to their ranks as well. He is he's trying to become a spy, and so he was caught spying on the Full Hammers, and they allowed him for some cash to switch over and work for them instead of work against them. So he has now joined the party, and they have been sent on a mission to Melora's Quiver to meet up with Kate Fullheart, a ranger-type lass who will help them find their way into the Bone Mountains to retrieve a magical item called Moradin's Tiny Orb, which will help the Servants of the Scale escape the clutches of the High Council that wishes them dead. That was a full mouthful. What do you think, boys?
Not as good as the last time. You got a whole season in 5 minutes. This one took you 2 minutes.
Yeah, you got it.
Oof.
For one episode.
Sorry, dude.
One day we're going to get you whittled down to 7 seconds.
Yikes. I can't imagine what you could say about an episode in 7 seconds.
Swimming on. Right. It's going to be like Ollie. What did we do last week, Ollie?
Dungeon Boys, new party. Let's go. All right, let's play this Dungeon Boys game. Is everybody good? I feel like we're off to a weird start. And why? Is that just me?
I'm chaotic good. What you talking about?
I feel like it's kind of a weird start. We didn't have very much trouble coming in here, but we're still starting late somehow.
Yeah. But as long as everybody's good to play D&D.
Yeah.
Always good to play D&D.
All right.
It's always good.
To get us up to date, we are now currently in the throes of combat. We arrived in Melora's Quiver through teleportation. I think I'm a little bit stressed out because there's so much story stuff and so many characters last week that it's hard to summarize. But they were through the powers of teleportation. They arrive outside of Melora's Quiver, which is a desert town outside of the Bone Mountains, where they're going to stage their quest into the mountains. They arrive there in the desert, and they see 4 thuggish men carrying a giant scorpion on a tarp, and they are immediately called out to from behind a sand dune by what they learn to be Kate Fullheart, the very woman they are looking for. She's calling out that those thugs stole her kill, that we need to stop them. She does notice that Eros is a character that she does know from his short stint where she's from, and she recognizes the party as companions, at least somewhat. And she enlists their help to stop these thugs. The party immediately jumps into action to fight the thugs and try to steal back this dead scorpion from them. But last week, the last thing that occurred was the scorpion's tail twitched. the giant scorpion is not yet dead. But we are in the middle of combat. If you look on the screen, hopefully you can see on the screen those labels. Hopefully, chat, let me know if those labels need to be larger. I am going to enlarge them just a hair right now. If you are listening to this podcast anywhere that's not Twitch or YouTube, you cannot see this, so this will be incentive for you to come and watch on YouTube and see our little tokens move around. But first in the initiative order is young Eros.
Oh, okay.
That's you. What you got, John?
So I think I'm going to do my bonus action, Shield of Faith.
Okay.
And then I think I'm going to attack T3 with my short sword.
You will be moving to there.
Yes, with Grim.
All right, so we'll call these squares what we want to call these squares, about 10 feet apiece. So 1, 2, 3. It's a little hard to read, Mr. Soul Creek says. I can increase the size one more, but I don't think I can stomach doing any more than that. Hopefully that will satisfy. So Jack is moving over to Thug number 3 to attack.
Not Jack.
Sorry, not Jack. Sorry, Eros, of course, is doing that. Eros, what? That's 1, 2. Yeah, we'll call it. We'll let you run over there and attack.
That's really smooth on Owlbear as well.
It is. I was just noticing that.
Yeah, it's not super smooth for me because I'm dragging it, but so the stream is only going to see my jank. If you guys move stuff, it'll be smooth for me.
Could be.
So if you want to move yourself in the future,
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is that something you want us to do?
yeah, move yourself in the future. I like the sound of that.
Cool. I'll bring myself to tears.
I've moved myself. All right, Jack, roll it up, brother.
Does 23 work?
It's not Jack.
Sorry, his name's John. His name's John, and we have a character named Jack, and neither of those are his name in the game. Cut me some slack.
Slack has been cut.
Does 23 hit?
A 23 will hit. What are you trying to hit him with, sir?
A short sword.
A short sword. Perfect. A 23 will absolutely hit T3, and he is of the three of them, he is looking the least good, by the way.
Oh. So that will do 7 damage.
7 damage. All right. So you run up there and you jam your short sword into his chest, but he switches to the side a little bit, and your sword passes into his armpit, slicing both his arm and the side of his torso. Blood pours down his armor, but he's yet alive, and he says, "Oh, you little cretin!"
Oh no.
What else will you do?
I can't move anymore, so I pass.
All right. Perfect. Hopefully that sound isn't too much in your ears. It is now. Who else would be an A in this initiative lineup? Arlo. Arlo would be your.
Arlo.
I am Airlow. Let me see. Old Scorpy buddy is starting to wake up apparently.
Everybody roll. Did I ask everybody to roll a perception roll last week before we ended? I can't remember now.
No, you just said because I was over there, I saw it.
Okay. Well, Grim is over there as well, so I would assume Grim probably would have saw it.
I have a mighty passive perception as well.
Yeah, so let's say, if that's what I said last week, let's just say Grim and Jack are the only ones who notice currently that the scorpion is moving. There's a lot of movement over there with everybody running around it, so the two of you saw it move initially.
That is true.
Do I notice it with a passive perception of 18?
Yeah, I'd say you notice it too, Arlo. That's a good way to call me out. I like it.
Well, I was just wondering because I was about to do a thing, but I didn't know if I need to try to make a
duty ting. Duty ting. That's fine.
Right. Since I noticed a little awakeningness, I'm going to try to cast Dominate Beast.
Dominate Beast. Holy moly. Okay.
Yep. 4th level enchantment. It's an action. Range is 60 feet, so I'm pretty sure I got it. Lasts for a minute. So you attempt to beguile a beast that you can see within range. It must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you for the duration. If you or a character that are friendly to you are fighting it, it has advantage on the saving throw. While the beast is charmed, you have a telepathic link with it as long as the two of you are on the same plane of existence. You can use this telepathic link to issue commands to the creature while you are conscious, which it does its best to obey. You can specify a simple or general course of action, such as attack a creature, run over there, fetch an object, blah, blah, blah. It keeps going on for a while.
Okay. All right. So let's get
it
started.
To take total and precise control of the target.
Good gravy, golly
Let's
goodness.
Each time it takes damage, it makes a new wisdom saving throw against the spell.
Okay.
But it lasts for a minute. It's got to beat a 16.
Okay, and I roll a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Will a nat 20 do it? Am I rolling with disadvantage at all?
Barely. No disadvantage.
Okay, all right. So yeah,
So I say a nat 20 beats it.
The scorpion turns to you, Arlo, and you notice that it has a long gray beard, and it's carrying a big old satchel of books. It's very wise. Obviously, that is not the case.
Incredibly wise.
But the scorpion does shake it off. It's almost, maybe it's just not wise enough. Maybe that's it. There's not a whole lot for you to grab onto in there. So the scorpion does roll a nat 20 to shake off your control of it.
Okay, well, if that's the case, Arlo is just going to kind of look at this thing like, give a little shrug, and then I'm gonna jump into the action. I think I'm gonna become something. Let's see.
Okay.
What I got? I'm gonna go with a vulture, giant vulture.
Very solid choice.
I'm doing it.
So
giant vulture taking off, just kind of circling around, getting close to the action.
All right. Hey, all gamings, welcome to the stream, buddy. So your other spell was what, a bonus action, or you can transform as a bonus action?
Yeah, Circle of Moon Druid can bonus action.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so you wild shape. Before your very eyes, all of you who are in combat, you notice Arlo transform into a giant vulture, and I assume fly up into the sky?
Yeah, I'm just kind of taking flight, and I'm just circling around overhead from the action, kind of like above where Grim and Arrows are at.
All right. There's no real way for me to make it look like you're high above, so we're just going to take you over there, and we'll say you're circling in that area. Just remember that you are, of course, high above them, or above them at some distance.
Got it. It's all good.
Okay. All right, sorry. Yeah, you can move your marker wherever you'd like for it to be as a giant vulture.
That's fine right where it is.
Okay. All right. So it is now Grimly's turn. What will you do with your fists and your brain?
I'm going to do two things. First, I will make the choice to go into a... I don't think I can do that. Never mind. Because I think, I think you have to do that when you choose to rage. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to attack at number 3.
Okay.
But I'm going to use the feature Reckless Attack, which is starting at 2nd level, you can throw aside all concern for defense to attack with fierce desperation. When you make your first attack on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so gives you advantage on melee weapon attack rolls using strength during this turn, but attack rolls against you have advantage until your next turn. So I get advantage on my melee attacks, but everything coming in, other than like an AoE, has advantage against me.
Understood. Gotcha.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to punch at him.
By the way, he ain't looking good.
Well, he hopefully will die with the one punch.
It is likely.
Okay, so 24, does that hit him?
A 24 will certainly hit him.
22 damage.
22 damage will absolutely murder this man. If you allow me to take liberties with this kill, I would love it.
Do it.
Your reckless attack. You decide that normally with fists you keep your elbows in. You're ready to block if need be. Not now. You reach forward, completely take yourself off balance, grab him by his loosened leather armor around his chest that Eros has just loosened. Grab the chest piece of his leather armor, snatch him down towards your knee. And you bring a knee into his face. One of his teeth is lodged in your pant leg as you pull it out, and you feel his neck snap behind the power of your knee thrust, and he falls over just as dead as a slug on the ground.
Dope.
And he lands right at Eros's feet, blood leaking out of his face and his arm.
Grim. So I'm playing as Rage. Like, he's not. There's probably like a base level like anger, but it's more along the lines of he's extremely focused whenever this happens. So he's not looking at anyone. He just kind of notices that, he does that, and then as soon as he sees the body hit the ground, he turns to number 2 and just moves that way.
Okay.
So I'm also gonna punch at number 2 one good time.
As you walk over to number 2, he's like, I don't know if I want the skeleton that bad.
Well,
Scorpion.
that's too bad.
I was wondering.
Scorpion skeleton.
This guy's actually got a scorpion lodged in his butt. Or skeleton. Whatever. Somebody else DM. Somebody else DM this game.
I got a natural 20.
A natural 20?
Unnatural.
An unnatural 20 will also hit this guy.
Yay.
This poor guy is shaking in his boots, by the way.
Another 22 damage.
All right. Yeah. All right, so you've effectively murdered. Let's go ahead and trash this guy. He's dead. Number 2, you're gonna walk over there and just punch him just right in his jaw. He turns and spits out a couple of teeth as the necrotic energy. I assume you're using your necrotic energy with your fists.
Yeah. I'll let you know when I'm not doing it. But also, Grim has those gloves on, so when he punches him in the jaw, those little spikes, I imagine, rip out some of his flesh.
Oh yeah, so yeah, his face is all torn up with dark energy as well as spikes on your fist. Like, he spits out a couple teeth. He says, "Please, I'll run away."
Grim doesn't say anything.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Jack, it's your turn.
Cool. So I need a holy symbol to cast my paladin spells.
Mm-hmm.
But as a high elf, I get a cantrip. Like, no matter what class I choose, I get one cantrip. You would say I could use the cantrip without a focus, correct?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense to me.
It does make
It's
sense to
like
me
an
as well.
inborn ability.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Can I reach number 1 over there?
Number 1? I don't see why not. Yeah, sure.
Okay, I want to run up to number 1, and Jack is gonna be using his old cleaver, I guess.
Show us on the thingamajig how you move.
Deftly.
I don't know. Do I run around? Or how much space is there between Eros and his
Well, if every square is 10 feet, you can run between, or you can hop over that scorpion, like hop over his tail or something. It might be dangerous.
I like danger. I'll hop over the scorpion.
All right.
Skeleton.
So, Jack, whenever you do hop over that skeleton, God freaking dang it, dude!
Tell me about that skeleton, Keith.
The scorpion.
I can see this is kind of like a Boduk kind of thing, just slide across its
Yeah.
carapace shell thing.
So yeah, you run and slide over where its tail would be going down. Like, the tail is now raising up in the air. You go sliding over the lowest part of its tail, but when you do that, young man, he has an attack of opportunity.
Oh no.
Will a 19 hit?
It will.
All right. So you, sir, are going to take 1d10 of damage So you're going to take 6 piercing damage. The tail, as you step on it, reacts reflexively, almost as if you pressed a hinge, and it comes down and jabs you on your shoulder as you go by, nicking your armor and harming you a little bit for 6 damage.
6.
Yep. And as you can do this, anyone nearby can hear the claws of the scorpion go as it starts snapping in and out. Pincers.
All right. So with that having attacked me, I will, instead of actually attacking one, I'm going to turn to the scorpion and attack him instead.
Okay. Sounds good.
Since I'm right up on him, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the old reliable cleaver. I'm going to use my cantrip and cast Booming Blade.
Okay.
Let me see. Forgive me. This takes a moment.
You doing math or?
No, deals an extra D8 of thunder damage to the target. It's just been a long time since I used Booming Blade.
Nice.
Yeah. Year and a half.
Yeah. Okay, so it takes 2d8 of damage immediately, and if it moves, then it will take another 2d8 of damage.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Yeah, if I hit it, that is. So, attack 1. Can y'all see what I rolled? I rolled
15.
Yeah.
That will hit, sir.
Okay, so then D8 for the cleaver itself.
Okay.
That landed on its side.
Yeah.
D8 for the cleaver. D8 for the booming blade. So that's 6 plus 7 is 13. Another D8 for booming blade. That's an 8.
So 21 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus my strength is another plus 4.
That's juicy.
So, wait, what was that again? 21 plus 4, 25 damage.
25 damage. You slice down into the you go over there and you know where the scorpion's head is at. You raise your cleaver to the sky and bring that meat slicing cleaver directly down to wherever that scorpion's brain should be, and you jam that cleaver down in there, and scorpion blood, whatever color that is, shoots out of the top of it like a geyser, while it still twitches and is not yet dead. But you know that you have made a critical blow against the scorpion.
Nice.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I'm gonna hit it again
Okay.
with the cleaver. Or I'm gonna try at least. Ooh, that's a 6 plus 7. That's a 13 to hit.
A 13 will not hit this time.
Darn it.
Your second hit comes down and bounces off the exoskeleton. You didn't hit it quite in the same place you hit it earlier.
Let's see. Alright, I want to take this time to explain some paladin stuff that I have going on.
Okay.
So as a paladin at 6th level, I have Aura of Protection. Creatures within 10 feet of me can add my Charisma modifier to their saving throws.
Nice.
Friendly creatures within 10 feet of me can add my Charisma modifier to saving throws. So if you need to make a saving throw, add 3 to it.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
And also, as a Oath of Glory paladin, if you are within 5 feet of me and you are friendly, you get an extra 10 feet of movement speed on this turn.
Ooh. Mr. Soul Creek tells us that the brain of a scorpion is a long line on the belly, and their blood is bluish. So, let's amend your move. You turn to the scorpion and see what looks like organs underneath. So you reach under and try to do an upward slash at the scorpion, and you gush blood out of the bottom of it all over the ground in this canvas tarp that it's on. Then you bring your knife around and try to go in from the top, but it's ineffective.
Oh well.
You know, it's nice to have members in our listening audience who stab scorpions often.
Mr. Soul Creek is an absolute Renaissance man. He is a man about town. He knows it all.
I love it. I love it.
I'm done with my turn.
Okay, wonderful. I didn't know if you had any more paladin stuff for us.
No.
What's up, Hale? Welcome to the stream, sister. It is now going to be Thug number 1's turn. And he's going to turn to Jack and he's going to say, "Please, I beg of you, just let us go. We don't need the scorpion this bad. We're sorry we took your girlfriend, Scorpion. We'll leave you alone if you promise not to kill us."
Well, if you start running, I don't know how many of us will chase you.
He immediately turns and begins sprinting away.
We just saw it choking very smoothly. Just
and then the next order, huh?
You know, like the Thug Life memes where the glasses come in from off screen onto
Yeah.
the person's face. It was the opposite of that. It just like shot off the top of the screen.
Yeah, because I've got mine made looking a little different, so I can still see him. All right, so that being the case, as he runs away, he yells back to his friend. He says, "Come on, Curtis, they're letting us go." And Curtis says, "Wonderful," and he sprints away as well, or at least he tries to. Grim.
No, I'm gonna let him go.
All right, so they're running away. But as they run away, oh no, excuse me. So they're both running away. Kate is going to head in this way. She's going to run up to you guys, and she's going to say, "Oh, wonderful! You were able to scare those, more than scare off those thugs. Why'd you have to kill him so brutally?"
Are we still in combat or no?
Yeah, you're still in combat. She just asked the question.
Grim does
No.
not answer.
Okay. She says that as she's walking over towards where you guys are. She seems to be putting her bow back on her back. Combat feels as though it is drawing to a close, but the scorpion still twitches on the ground. And it is going to be Eros' turn again. Right beside you, Eros, a giant
Jack,
scorpion is twitching.
I just went.
it's your
I
turn.
mean, no, I thought you hit better than me. Oh, okay.
It's your turn.
I thought Arlo was first. Okay. So, I don't notice the scorpion, so I just answer for Kate.
Well,
Grim,
you watch Jack slash into the scorpion.
oh, I didn't notice. Okay.
You're standing right
No,
by
okay.
it at this point.
A lot has
Oh.
happened since then. Remember, I dove across it and it tried to stab me.
Oh, well, Kate was just like unsheathing her bow, so I thought, like, well, okay, I guess Eros is done too. So, I guess we're done. Okay, so, Eros will run a little bit off from the scorpion, so a little away from the scorpion.
Okay.
A little concerned about the
You wanna
scorpion.
move away from the scorpion.
Yeah, like, I don't want to mess with this right now.
You do know if you move away from it, it gets an opportunity attack, right?
Oh, it does?
Yeah. If you move outside of his area, it can try and stab you in the back while you run away like a little coward.
Oh. Okay, I guess.
But it did already
I'm
use its
still gonna do
reaction
that,
this
right?
round.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah. Okay, never mind.
If Eros is first in the order, that's technically a new round. But you can use your action to disengage, and then it won't get that attack of opportunity.
Yeah, but you don't get to do anything else but move.
Well, I still want to attack the scorpion, so I don't think I'm going to do that. So
Okay.
I still am going to go a little bit, like, 2 blocks away from it.
Okay.
2 city blocks away.
2 city blocks.
It's also barely clinging to life. It may or may not move.
So, and then I'm going to do Secret Flame. To burn it.
All right. Sacred Flame. You move away and you cast Sacred Flame, which I know means this scorpion is going to have to roll a dexterity saving throw, which it will have disadvantage on. So I'm going to roll. Dang, you can't keep the scorpion down.
Plus a 12.
What about a 16?
That will not burn it.
Wow. So this scorpion is flailing around on the ground in pain. It slaps its tail against the ground and nudges itself out of the way of this sacred flame, just barely sliding around on this bloody canvas that is laying on. But you are unable to burn the scorpion, unfortunately.
And then
Wait, does it take
right
half
after I'm
damage? I'm
done-
jumping ahead. I'm sorry.
What do you mean half damage?
I feel like with Sacred Flame, you completely
I don't
dodge
think
it.
so.
Yeah.
Oh,
most
I have to
cantrips
touch
are
the thing.
healing dodge type thing.
I think I did Sacred Flame then.
Just keep going, John.
Okay. So, and then right after my turn, I'm going to do Shield of Faith,
That's 2 spells.
but it's my bonus action.
Yeah, you can't. It's a thing. We recently learned that you can't do an action spell and a bonus action spell.
Ooh. Okay,
No,
and
but
then
you
I guess
can
I'm done
do-
then.
Sacred Flame's a cantrip.
But it's an action cantrip.
You can, yeah, you can do a bonus action spell and an action cantrip in the same turn. You just
Okay.
can't do a bonus action spell and an action spell in the same turn. But also, Shield of Faith lasts for 10 minutes, so you're good on that one. You don't need to burn another spell slot on that.
Okay, well, I just wanted to make sure. And then I'm
Sweet.
done.
All right, yeah.
All right. So Eros casts Sacred Flame on the scorpion that flails about and gets away from it. Doesn't take any damage. That makes it Arlo's turn.
Well, shoot.
Arlo says, "Caca!"
Yeah.
And I'm circling around overhead, and do I? Can I just make a perception roll real quick? I want to see like in what direction are these former enemies fleeing to?
Okay.
It's a 28 percept.
You can easily see that they are about 60 feet north of this kerfuffle currently, and they are heading back towards the town of Melora's Quiver.
Okay, so they're headed back towards the town. Okay.
And you, of course, heard
Um,
everything that was said about they wanted to run away. Jack let them go. Grim let them go.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so I guess I'm going in for El Scorpo. I have pack tactics, so I have advantage if one of my allies is nearby.
They are.
So if somebody within, I guess Jack would be the closest one because you just tried to stab at it.
Me and Grim are about the
Yeah.
same distance.
Y'all are both right on top
Okay.
of it.
So multi-attack, I'm gonna go in and see if I can nip it with the old beak.
All right.
That's a 9, probably not gonna hit.
A
and
9
a
will not.
16.
A 16 will hit.
A 16. Okay. So beak attack is gonna get 6 damage from that one, and then a 20 not natural or a 7. So probably the 20. That's for a Talon's attack.
A Talon will hit.
Nice. And that is a 13 damage on the old rake it up with the Talon.
All right, so you fly in and try to nip it with your beak, but you're unable to. So let's say you get a little altitude, come back down, and land on it with your talons. Your talons are able to crack deeply into the exoskeleton of this scorpion, and as your talons go in, you can feel its organs, and you squeeze tightly, squishing through the scorpion's organs, feeling them turn to putty and juice within your fingers, and you pull your talons out as they drip with blue scorpion blood, and the scorpion's tail, which was quite erect, is now flat on the ground. Dead scorpion.
Nice.
Oh.
So I'm gonna take back off, and I'm circling around overhead to see if there's anybody else nearby.
Okay,
I'm just circling overhead, vulture style.
gotcha. You do
Well
not.
handled, Arlo.
Caca!
Lest we forget that he is a giant vulture.
Right. I can say 2 things, ka and ka,
And specifically in that order.
specifically in that order.
Okay, well, I feel comfortable at this point saying that combat is now over.
You sound comfortable. Woo.
You had to take a little yawn. I apologize.
It's all good. It's all good.
I would like to loot the bodies.
All right, you would like to loot the bodies. Very well. Well, the 2 bodies that lie beside the scorpions For a second, I thought your camera froze, guys, but you're just all looking intently.
Right.
On the bodies of the thugs, they were wearing leather armor, but the leather armor, the one that you killed with your knee, is pretty much destroyed. It's pretty much leather scraps at this point. The other one is pretty well intact. They were also both carrying maces and heavy crossbows.
Okay, hold up. Leather armor.
No legendary enchanted items or
No, they didn't drop any orange glowing guns or anything. What's up, Random Furniture? Welcome to the stream,
no
bud.
Infinity Gauntlet. No.
No, just half of one.
Apple. Okay.
The pinky finger of an Infinity Gauntlet.
There you go.
That's all you really need right there.
No stone though. It's pretty much just like a golden thimble.
The Infinity Thimble.
Yes. Perfectly sewn, as all things should be. Everybody, here we go. Combat's over. So Kate is she's walking up to the dead scorpion. She walks over to the dead scorpion like I described last time. Kate Fullheart, she is a fairly objectively beautiful young lass. She is in her, if you had to guess, probably early 30s of age. She has long brown hair that's pulled back into a braid. She is carrying a long recurve bow. She looks very much the ranger. She's wearing leather boots and like a tunic with a hood on it. Very rangery style. Mr. Soul Creek has to go. It's 1 a.m. Have fun. We will do our best. Random Furniture, if you're about to fall asleep, let our sounds lull you off. I know you said that this put you to sleep last time, so you enjoy the sleep. But she walks over to the scorpion, and she stands next to it. She leans down on it and puts her elbow in it, right in the blood that's leaking out of the top of it, and she says, "Well, thank you guys for all the help."
Well, you're welcome.
Yes, Eros. Well, I didn't expect to see you here. Well, what brings you and your friends here?
Just an afternoon walk, if you know what I mean.
You're thousands of miles away from where I last saw you. That's quite the walk.
I don't know what's really happening right now. Teddy Bear just basically teleported us here.
Oh, so Justine brought you here. Okay. Well, introduce yourselves. I'm Kate Fullheart, and I'm assumed that you know my in-laws.
Grim is still.
I heard. I can't say anything.
Yeah, I have no memory of this place. Somebody has to take it other than me.
All right, I forgot about that, Jack. Grim is gonna walk up at this point, and he's gonna say some words. Yes, I suppose we do. I actually have a letter for you from what's the big guy's name, Keith?
Torque.
Torque. I have a letter for you from Torque.
Oh, great.
I pull it out of my pocket.
She snatches the letter from you, as if she's excited, not as if she's entitled to it. And she opens it up, and you can tell that she reads this letter with a bit of a longing. You can tell that she misses Torque. You can tell that he has written her something intimate, something between the two of them, and she smiles sweetly and rubs her hand on the note, and then she folds it and slips it into one of the pockets of her trousers. Thank you. I appreciate you bringing me that note. I don't get to see my husband very often because I'm here on assignment, and anything that I can get from him anytime is wonderful. Thank you.
We are also on a bit of an assignment. I believe we are supposed to be meeting you.
I assume that would be the case. I can't imagine any other reason that Albert and Corinne would have sent Eros with you. They caught him spying recently, and we paid him a handsome fee to switch sides, didn't we, Eros?
Yes, it was a very great moment.
Yes, getting paid normally is, well, there's not a ton of pay in this for me, but we are trying to stage a mission into the Bone Mountains to retrieve a certain spherical object. I assume that's why you're here.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Splendid. Well, what say we walk into Melora's Quiver, see if we can't dodge any injured thugs or any of the rest of their crew, and you guys can grab any supplies you might need, and maybe even we'll catch a drink at the Krusty Krag while I explain what's going on.
What about this thing? And Grim points to the scorpion.
She says, well, it certainly was my kill, and I intended to take back a few parts to town to sell, and then the rest of it I was going to have prepared to be food to eat on our journey. If you'd like to help me drag it into town, I'd be grateful.
Sure. And Grim grabs whatever it is the guys were using to pull it.
Gotcha.
I'll grab the other one.
I'm
Okay.
down with the other one too.
Caca.
Okay. So since Arlo is still a vulture, Kate grabs the fourth rope and she begins to pull. Do you intend to stay a vulture, Arlo, or what's your plan?
At least till we get to, like, I guess the gate or entrance to the city or whatever town.
Okay. As you guys are pulling, she leans. I guess so Grim and Kate are on the right side, and Jack and Eros are on the left side of this big canvas as you're dragging a blue trail of scorpion into town. And I'll go ahead and put that on our little display. Arlo's flying overhead. So you guys are dragging that scorpion into town, and she leans forward and she says, I didn't catch everyone's names. What are your names? I know Eros here, but the rest of you."
Oh, yes. Forgive me. This is coming off the high of a battle. My name is Grim. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, Grim. Kate.
My name is Jack, and a friend up there in the sky is Arlo.
Wonderful. Pleasure to meet you, Jack. I'm Kate. And she looks up to Arlo and she says, "Pleasure to meet you, Birdman. My name's Kate."
I kind of like dip the old wings a little bit, just like a little nod, kind of.
Okay. She also turns to the party and says, "A druid, I assume, or is he particularly cursed?"
Oh, no, he is just a standard druid. Or, well, maybe standard is the wrong word, but he is a druid.
In my experience, there's nothing standard about druids, Grim.
That is true. Although you should try being raised with a wild magic sorcerer. That is not an easy task, I tell you.
I've not had the pleasure of meeting one. I fear I may not wish for it.
It makes life interesting. I'll say that is the least.
Very well. Let's drag this thing to town, shall we? I should stop talking and pull my weight. And you all begin to pull. You pull and you pull and you pull, and it's about a mile or so. It's about a mile or so that you guys are going into town. And
can I, before we like segue into other stuff, I guess I want to get as much mileage out of my wild shape as I can. Can I like fly over the town and see if there's any points of interest or things that stand out to me?
Of course, you can absolutely fly over the town and see if there are any points of interest. I even have an image that will help you with that.
Ooh.
An image?
And I don't normally do this, I should, but I'd like to thank everybody who is hanging out here with us on the stream. I appreciate you, and if you're listening to the podcast, I appreciate you as well. Hope that you will forgive our shortcomings and enjoy the show. All right, so this is what you see, young man. This is what you see.
Drum roll, please.
Do you see what I see?
I believe we do.
Oh, I see it.
Oh.
I see Tinty City Market. In Krusty Krag.
It's not supposed to say Tinty City, but
Is that
yeah.
where you keep all the skeletons?
Yes, that's where I keep all my
And the thug-
skeletons.
The Thugnificent.
Thug Fort, Krusty Krab, and Tent City.
All right, so obviously you don't know that's the Thug Fort, so please negate that knowledge for me. But
That's where they park all the thugs,
Obviously.
that's where they keep all the skeletons too.
right? Thug
Um,
skeleton. Skeleton.
Who am I missing? I'm missing young Eros.
How could you forget me?
Not
So
on
I
purpose.
don't have my glasses on because it had a horrible glare across them when we were using the webcam last time.
Mm-hmm.
You typed in arrows, and the little R's on this thing, for my eyes, it makes it look like Amos.
It does look like that.
I can see that.
Nah,
It's
Amos
Amos
Moses
Moses.
was a Cajun.
Right?
All right, so you guys are making your way into Melora's quiver. Arlo, you fly over. Roll for me an investigation, or not just a perception check, please.
Wow. That's a 9.
A 9. Okay, so you fly over and you get the general lay of the land with that 9. You can see what looks like it could be a marketplace or something, kind of in the middle of the town. It takes up most of the town. You can see that many of these buildings are made, are not buildings at all, but tents that are becoming semi-permanent. Some of these tents still have tent roofs, but some of them have had makeshift wooden walls made up. But there are some
Ceasefire on the description. There's
Yeah.
actually a +3 to that. So that's a 12. I
Okay.
forgot I was a Volunteer. I don't know
Gotcha.
if that affects anything.
It will affect something. So you notice that the tent city / market in the middle of town, you can see people buying and selling in the center of town there. On the east side of town, you can see one large building that, while it looks like shoddy construction, it also looks like new construction. It looks like someone is trying to build a fort or some sort of enclosure. And inside that building, you can see a few large dudes roaming around inside that building, and a couple of wagons. Also, on the west side of town, you can see what is obviously a tavern, because you can read wood burned, a big wood burned sign. There's a big stein that has been wood burned into a circular piece of wood, and across that is another board that is kind of hammered over the top of it that says the Krusty Krag. And across the street from that is the Chum Bucket. Just kidding. It's not. But the Krusty Krag is there. You can tell that's a tavern, and you can see your companions walking into town at the southwest side of town as they enter Melora's quiver, dragging a scorpion.
Nice. I guess I'm going to head over towards where they are. I'm looking to see wherever they stop or enter or whatever, and I'll
Okay.
just be my old Arlo-y self, and I'll explain to them what I see.
So you intend to land and do that now, or wait for them to do something?
I'll wait until they get to wherever their destination is.
Okay. So you guys drag into the edge of town, and Kate points over towards that tent city / market area, and she says, "That over there is where all the buying and selling is done. I have some men that I know that will come and butcher the scorpion for me, and take it and have it prepared in the ways that I would like for it prepared. Whenever they do that, I will have some gold that I can share with the four of you. The druid is okay with money, is he not? Nothing special about him. He'd want to share, wouldn't he?"
I believe he had an
As far as I
arrangement.
know.
You believe what, Grim?
I like money.
Didn't he, out of character, didn't he have an arrangement with... Were you holding on to Burb's money, Josh? Or
Yeah, he was holding on to Burb's money, not the other way around.
There we go. So that's where I get some extra cash from. Okay,
Okay.
Burb kept stealing everything.
that's true.
He had sticky feathers for sure.
So Grim actually doesn't say anything, because I was mistaken. I thought Jack was holding on to Arlo's money.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, I'll have a share for money for him then. All of you will get a share. I'm not sure what we'll get for the scorpion, but I'll give you all a share because after all, it was you who killed it and not me.
Well, that is appreciated.
So you guys hang out over here near the tent city, over there, and she says, "Okay, I have a few errands to run. It was of course a pleasure to meet you, and I hope to see you this evening at the Krusty Krag. Then,
Yes, we will be there. Certainly.
I think
Wait, we can see the sign, right?
yeah,
Okay.
it's right across the street from you." She points to the building across the street. She says, "It's right there. You can't miss it."
Absolutely, we'll be there.
Okay, so she says, if you have some shopping you need to do, you're welcome to do so, or if you would just like to wander around town and see the sights. I will say this, though, Melora's Quiver is a hive of scum and villainy like you have never seen. Be careful. Keep your weapons at an arm's reach at least, and don't take any crap from anyone.
Speaking of weapons, do you know a good place to buy some?
Absolutely. There are plenty of places from which you can procure a weapon, but I have to recommend there's a new fellow in town over the last week or so, who's making quite a buzz in the city market with his wares of blacksmithery.
I see.
You want to check that out, Jack?
I wouldn't mind checking it out. Do you know the fellow's name?
I can't remember, but it has a musical quality to it. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it has a certain musical onomatopoeic quality.
I'm sure we'll recognize it when we find him. This was Juice's collar.
He's destroyed it on camera.
He ate his collar?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Holy cow.
Everyone smile for Juice.
But you don't have to.
Stupid
Yeah.
dog. I hate him.
Stupid dog. Anyway, she says as well, there are more than just blacksmithery and things going on. There are several vendors selling magical items, particularly charismatic fellow who loves to sling a magic item or two. I've admittedly have bought a few things from him, so I imagine you'll be able to do quite a bit of shopping. But I really must go. And she turns and she says, "See you later. I'll see you at the Krusty Krag." And she turns and trots off through the market.
Seeing Kate leave the party, Arlo wants to come in for a landing and become his old Arlo-y self.
Very well. The people around you are not particularly alarmed by such behavior. Normally people are at least kind of concerned whenever someone turns from a vulture into a human being. But these people are just, the Melora's Quiver seems to be a well-adjusted place where anything kind of happens.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, and Keith, I was thinking about it earlier. Aren't what was it, warlocks and druids? They're the ones that are kind of looked down on, right?
So there are different levels of magiciness. So the more natural your magic ability, the more the other magic folks would look down upon you in this land. Magic folks are a cut above the folks who don't do magic, but say if you were a well-learned wizard, you might look down on a sorcerer or a warlock or someone who did not have to hone and train themselves for their craft, that it was just given to them or purchased through the forfeiture of their soul.
Got it. I remember there was a something going on there, but I couldn't remember all the details.
How
Yes.
would that fit with Druid? Because Druid they do train for everything they know.
Yeah. So druids
So
are
it's not a formal training.
I think it just is kind of a thing that it kind of depends. This world has definitely made a transference to it's getting more metropolitan. The people in the capital, it's kind of like Hunger Games. The people in the capital feel like a cut above the people who live out in rural areas. So it's almost like, I guess, the druids are seen as the best the country folk can do sometimes. So you're kind of middle of the road when it comes to a magic wielder. It's not going to open too many doors for you, but it might gain the respect of people out in the boonies.
Nice. Okay, I can work with that.
Okay.
So I land. I'm my magical and beautiful self again, and I want to address the party. So that was Kate, was it?
Yes, it was Kate.
I thought that's what I heard. She said she's gonna pay us a little bit for that scorpion we tenderized earlier.
Yes,
Yeah.
she did agree about that.
She claimed that we killed it, not her. Though we just sort of re-killed it.
Yeah,
Tenderized.
she did kind of injure it, but like, I didn't want to say that. I wanted the money.
Right. Well, fellas, just did a little once over on everything, and I mean, you can see this big tinny looking city over here, and as that place across the road, looks like you can get something to eat. But there's a big, looks like they're putting in kind of a fortress or something like that. Big, bulging men over in that area. Big fellas over there. Looks like they might be something going on.
Kate did say there was a lot of new people in the market. Maybe they're sort of expanding. Maybe they're putting in new guard posts.
I don't know. Look a little bit much for just a guard post. Looks like a whole building by itself. I don't know. We might want to check that out a bit later.
Let's check that out tomorrow, but I would like to see the new person that's selling things. If that is fine with y'all.
What, Grim?
I agree.
All right, you guys heading into the marketplace?
Yep.
All right.
We
So,
do that.
you
I
head
did
into the
request new
marketplace.
person selling.
You head into the tent city / marketplace. The place is a bustle. There are people walking in front of you, behind you, completely non-COVID style. They are, there is I would call it a throng of people. You are in and out of the throng. And there are several shops, some well-established, some brand new. Looking down the aisles, you can see a few signs and banners hanging out. One of them, let me read them out to you. Some of the ones that stand out to you are, you see a sign that is a piece of wood, and on the sign hanging out into the street that you're walking down, you can see that on that sign, the words of the title of the store is fashioned out of a piece of rope, and the excuse me, the store is called Nothing But the Best. KNOTTING, Nothing But the Best. Down the street from that, you can see a large rock out in front of a darkly colored tent, and on that rock is painted in white paint the words Cave Savers. Across the street from that store is a tent you know all too well. It is a dark tent. It is large. It has the the special foyer with the two poles holding up the entranceway of the tent. It is dark inside, but from the inside you can hear the charismatic voice of Freegis, a voice you know very well. Freegis, the magic man with magic booty. And then beyond this area, down towards the end of the street, this stall does not even have a roof over it yet. It's brand new, but you can tell there's a forge there. And roll a perception check for me.
Ooh.
And then
Everybody?
everybody roll a perception check, and after you roll the perception check, roll an intelligence check.
14 on perception. And then a 12 on intelligence. So 14 and 12.
Okay.
Nat 20 on perception and a 12 on intelligence.
Okay.
17 on intelligence and 12 on perception.
Okay.
18 on perception and 13 on intelligence.
All right. So Arrows, you didn't really have to roll the intelligence. I'm sorry, that's my fault. But the three of them are trying to remember something. The three of you and Arrows, you look down and you see an orcish gentleman at the forge, a big, burly orcish gentleman, and you recognize this orcish gentleman as Krong from the market district of Lonesome, the place where you bought the trident, Pokesy, the place where everything is Krong strong.
Hey Keith. Oh yeah.
Yo,
I must use the bathroom. I shall return.
all right, go ahead.
Keith, I have no memory of this man.
Oh,
It was like one of
so
Steve's
Jack
first
has.
No. I know who he is. I
Oh
remember.
yeah, you're right.
Jack has no memory of this man.
All right,
You're
Jack,
right.
you have no memory of this man. That's correct, because you are fresh. You are fresh off the interplanar boat. So yeah, these are the things you see. These are the main stores. Of course, if there are items that these stores don't have that you believe a market district of an area might have, you are welcome to ask me if that kind of thing is here, and I will tell you if it is here or not. But this place is very much the name of this town is not lost on you, in that it's called Melora's Quiver. You guys recognize the name Melora as the goddess of adventuring, the goddess of the unknown, and the idea of Melora's Quiver, you understand that name is that it is a staging ground for those who wish to journey into the Bone Mountains seeking treasure and glory for themselves. So, like an arrow lives in a quiver before it is fired from the bow, so do people hang out in Melora's Quiver before they are fired into the Bone Mountains by their desire for adventure, glory, and gold.
Until
Well-
they splatter against the rocks.
Correct.
I kind of like the name Nothing But the Best, so I think we should go there first.
Yes, do we want to just make a full circuit? I mean, these seem to be the most happening places.
Well, I'll tell you what, we could try the whole full circuit, but Jack, do you not remember Freegis? You don't.
Keith, has Freegis ever come through Fark?
Yeah, you bought stuff from Freegis and Fark.
Okay.
But he as a paladin from another plane or whatever happened.
But he still would have made that same circuit through
Yeah.
Fark.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, I've known Freegis for quite a while. He comes through Fark just about every year.
You're particularly fond of
Oh,
his
my-
mouth of minty
Right.
icy tablets.
Who
Yeah, I
is-
got some of those. God, a while back, like before we even got on the boat.
Yeah, you were wild shaped or something. I had to buy them for you. I was carrying them for you for a long time.
I was staying with the wagon full of scales that we lost on the ship.
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh yeah, basilisk scales. We had a bunch of those, which we find that actually have very little value in normal D&D settings. So.
It turns
Arlen,
out.
do you know who Freegis is?
Freegis.
Everybody
Freegis.
knows who Freegis is. What you talking? Like, tell you what, come on this way. Let me introduce you to somebody named Freegis.
Well, awesome. Let's go.
Okay.
My boys.
All right, Grim, are you
And then we
also?
bust up in there.
Yeah, I'm going to Freegis. Did we go anywhere else?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to.
Not yet.
Okay, so you guys walk
Now, you remember
into.
Freegis too, right? Everybody knows Freegis.
Yeah. You guys walk into the tent of Freegis, and Freegis is just ushering some other customers out, almost as if you're on the way. And he says, "Well, hello there, my friends. Welcome back to my tent of magic wonders. I never forget a face, and I remember all 4 of you. Actually, I think I only remember 3. I don't recognize you, little horned boy. What's your name?"
My name's Eros. Thank you.
Arrows.
Who are you?
That's quite a name and quite a color of your skin. I'm not met too many young boys with red skin. Forgive me if I stare.
It's okay. I is fine.
Cool. You seem to be taking on the quality of my voice. That is the the purest form of flattery. Anyway, Grim, it's good to see you as well as Arlo. But I've got a question for you, Jack. You don't seem like the right Jack. Know what I'm saying?
That's very perceptive of you, Freegis. I know you quite well, but I know a different you as well.
Is that so? Do tell, do tell.
it's a bit confusing, and we haven't worked it all out yet. But I don't believe that my mind is of this world.
You don't
This
believe your
is-
mind is of this world. I frequently
don't
feel the
think
same
that-
way.
I see. Does that have anything to do with how you seem to be in every place at every time?
I'm just very observant, Mr. Jack, and I like to be where I'm needed, and I have a knack for knowing where I'm needed and being where I'm needed to be. That's of no concern of yours. I just know that I can smell something a little freaky when I sniff it.
I see. Well, there's a version of you from where I come from as well, and he is much like you are,
I'm sure he's only half as handsome, though.
or perhaps doubly so, depending on how you look at it.
He strokes his beard. I believe Freegis is a dwarf, is he not? I think he's a dwarf. I don't remember what his hair looks like. So Freegis has shaved his head since last time you've seen him. He's completely bald with a big long beard. And he's got his regal looking robes on.
Well, Freegis, what do you have?
Well, let me show you what I have, young man. I got a few things, and he pulls out his wares. And he says, "As always, I've only got 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 nickety knacks for you guys to peruse and possibly procure, but they're all good things." So he pulls out a few things and he lays them on the countertop. The first thing he lays out is a box of clothing, and in a box it is labeled "Go-Go Garments." He says, "These clothes, no matter whether you're hot, cold, or somewhere in between, will ensure that you are prepared to be comfortable in that weather. Let's say you're on top of a mountaintop in the freezing snow, or maybe you're down in a volcano being covered in lava. Well, it's probably not going to work in lava, but maybe let's say you're in a hot climate. These clothes will make sure you're either cool or warm, or, whatever you need to be in reason."
Yes, those might be helpful. Your world, Jack, seemed to enjoy his black clothing. It's a bit stifling for me, though.
How many does he have? Does he have is just one pair? Or is it enough?
No,
for all?
it's a box. So trying to communicate that if everybody wants some, you can have some.
Yes, I think those would be a good idea to have, a new Jack. I think they'd be quite useful, as it has suddenly become much hotter than mere moments ago.
I like how we've designated New Jack.
So you want to hear what else I got, or you want to make a purchase?
I
How
would like to
much
hear
are
what you
they?
have first.
They are 30 gold pieces. You might think that's kind of steep, but I can assure you they are worth their weight in 30 pieces of gold.
Oh, Freegis, I know your wares are worth every gold.
That they are.
Hey, what else you got in there?
I'll run them through for you. How about this? He slaps a pair of shoes onto the counter. He says, "These are called the redo shoes. You ever make a mistake and want to go back in time for about 6 seconds? Well, these shoes can do just that. You click the heels and you're gonna peel right on back to be able to correct some issues that might have just occurred. And while you're looking at that, let me show you this." He pulls out a small leather-bound book and he places it on the table and he says, "This is called the Journal. It's a small little book that populates itself with everything you've ever killed. So let's say you've killed a passel of monkeys, or maybe you've killed yourself a gorgon, or maybe you've killed yourself a dragon. Every time you kill it, this book will write itself down with that animal's information, as well as its possible values, if sold, all kind of good stuff. I love this thing. I'm not much of a killer myself, but I've had a few reviews on it, and they seem to be quite satisfied."
Arlo's kind of just rubbing the old chin there, very intrigued.
Okay.
Man, you seem to like that, to search people and see what their value is.
Who was he? Was Eros addressing someone?
Grim.
Grim.
Okay.
What do you mean their value, Eros? I'm a bit confused.
Well, when we killed those thugs, you searched them, see what they had. So I assumed that you were seeing see what their value was, and see anything good, at least.
Oh, no, mostly I was just grabbing their arms and armor to sell. Um, I've gotten a taste of it, just a minor taste, and it seems a shame to waste good product and let it rot out in the desert. So at least this way, I figure we can become a bit more self-sustaining, as opposed to waiting for benefactors to pay us for our good deeds.
Don't I know it, my brother?
Man makes a good point.
And Eros, I believe the Jornil, it's related more along the lines of creatures rather than beings such as us carrying armor.
It sounds like New Jack is right on track.
Mm-hmm. You seem to have a store. Do you work with anything? Any animals?
I was a butcher. Yes, I've disassembled the odd monster brought in by some adventurers around Bark. I might be interested in it. How much are you selling it for?
That's a measly 10 gold pieces for the journey.
Yes, if no one else wants it, I believe I'll go ahead and make that purchase.
All right, he reaches out his heavy dwarven hand and to receive your coin.
Any other takers?
So-
Anybody want to outbid me?
I'm good.
No, you go for it. That is all you.
Cool.
So, Freegis, it
I give him 10.
looks like you got a bit more on the table there. What else you got?
Presumptive of you to assume I have more items back here, but of course
You
I
said you
do.
got like 5 or 6 things.
Yeah, of course I do. He pulls out a bag and he sets it on the table and he says, "This is what I like to call the mimic. If you'll see, this looks like a medium-sized leather pouch and it can be hooked onto your clothing, but it's actually a mimic named Mick." And he uses his index finger and tickles the edge of the bag, and you can hear the bag giggle a little bit. And it says, and Mick doubles as a bag of holding. Now, he's friendly to whoever's wearing him, but hostile to anything that enters or tries to grab him without permission. Let's say someone defeats Mick in combat, though. He'll spill his contents onto the floor just like you'd spill your guts if someone sliced you open.
I slap my hand down on the table and say, "I'll take him."
All right. That'll be 100 gold pieces, young man.
Oh, that is steep, but well worth it, I'm sure. Now fork it over.
Okay. He takes out his heavy dwarven hand, his meaty sausage fingers, puts them in the bag. He puts his gold in his bag.
Reaches right into your coin purse.
So
Feel up your gold.
So as you grab the mimic bag, when you grab it, you can feel that the bag is like oddly warm, like a creature. And as you grab it, it goes.
I give it a little tickle, like what's his face did.
Yeah.
Just
So what else you got, Freegis?
All right, and he says, "I'll be honest with you. Those are the most valuable things I've got." But then he picks up like a milk crate, a wooden crate full of like little trinkets and doodads, and he says, "Now let me tell you something. I got no love for the gods, but it seems like a couple of you boys are magic boys, and I tend to give these things out for free to people what want them. And I'll be honest, I've got the aura. I feel like one of y'all is in need of something I've got in this box of holy symbols or whatever the heck they may be. So one of y'all, I don't know, Arrow, somebody, y'all root around in here and see if you need anything."
Freegis, your sixth sense is uncanny. Since I got here.
Well, what they say, I do have a bit of a sixth sense. That's how I always know y'all are coming. Anyway, root around in there, see if you find anything. As you begin to root around, Bryce, you are drawn to in the bottom of this crate is a shiny golden arrowhead, which you recognize immediately could be a holy symbol of the goddess Melora, the goddess of adventure.
Oh, this seems to be exactly what I'm looking for. How convenient.
Splendid. It's almost
And-
as if all things have been orchestrated for some unique plan or something crazy like that.
Truly, my goddess Melora smiles upon me this day. And how much did you say you wanted for it?
Ah, just take it. I don't really care much for the gods myself. Be honest, I ain't heard much of a god in my lifetime.
Well, there's one out there for us all. There's many, and you are a man of many places. Perhaps you'll stumble across your god one day.
Possibly I will. Possibly. Anyway, fellas, that's all I got there. If you would like to revisit the go-go garments or the redo shoes, those are the only things I have left for you.
Yeah. Freegis, while we're contemplating on that, let me talk to you here for just a second. I kind of want to like do the old like come here hand gesture.
Okay, he leans down, puts his big dwarven elbows on the table.
Freegis might have some information. I don't know if you've heard about it, but remember we got them tickets for the passage on the Winterford's Waddle.
Yes, you did.
Well, you might not want to be producing any more of them tickets anytime soon. We don't really know what has become of the old Winterford.
Arlo, are you referring to the hulking creature of nightmarishness that appeared on the last voyage of the Winifred's Waddle? Or are you possibly referring to the shipwreck that occurred not long after that? I've been in tune. I've heard the news.
So you're a fairly well informed fellow.
Oh, I pride myself on it.
Right. Well, where's the shipwreck at?
Now that's going to be my little secret.
Well, all right. I will find out from you at some point.
Sure, but
We
what's
done
a,
lost our wagon. We want our wagon back at some point. But I'm gonna find out from you at some point.
absolutely. What's a relationship between two friends without a little bit of mystery, Arlo?
Quite a bit. Tell you what. What's the deal with these go garments? What's you got going on there?
The go-go garments, he says, these are the ones that, if you need a jacket, it'll be a jacket. If you need a heavy coat, it'll be a heavy coat. If you need to be warm, it'll warm you up. If you need to be cool, it'll shrink down. It'll just make sure, these clothes make sure you're as comfortable as you can be, wherever or whenever you might find yourself.
Now, they may be comfortable, but are they stylish?
Yes, absolutely, very stylish. They keep track of the common styles.
Oh, well, all right then.
As you can see,
sound very disappointed.
as you can see, fur and leather are in, my friend.
Would you be willing to make a deal for 4 full sets?
Are you talking about a group rate, my friend? I ain't nothing if not a lover of group rates. Absolutely. I assume all 4 of you would like to be adorned in go-go garments.
Oh yes, definitely.
Very well.
I
Well,
desire to be fashionably comfortable.
you know what? I'll knock 20 gold pieces off the price if you'll give me 100 gold flat.
Work for everyone else.
Sounds like a deal
Yeah.
to me.
I suppose that'll do.
He reaches out his heavy dwarven hands.
I will contribute my 25 gold.
I'm gonna do the same.
Same.
I'd do it as well.
Tell
Okay.
you what, you got a pair of them shoes coming my size.
Yes, that's the wonderful thing about a magical item. It fits the feet. It fits the feet upon which it flies. So that'll be 35 gold pieces for the redo shoes, if you like 'em.
35s? Yeah.
I do say.
Well, you ask a steep price there, Freegis, but you've always been good to us. You always got good stuff. I'll get you 35.
Splendid.
Oh, thank you so much. I'd imagine these shoes are like almost as big as Arlo's leg.
Yeah, they're pretty big. But whenever you put them on, they shrink down.
Freegis, would you be interested in buying
What are you selling?
a few basic things? This leather armor and a rapier.
I hate
and a
to
short bow.
I hate to turn you down, Jack, but do you see a regular thing in this place?
No, I suppose not.
I got no use for a regular thing, brother. I can't sell it. If I can't sell it, I won't buy it.
Very well. Then how about this? And I want to take out the Gorgon's Gaze, the paralysis gauntlet thing made from
Okay.
the eye of the basilisk.
As soon as he sees it, you hear him go, "Ooh, what you got there?"
Careful with it, but you can feel free to look it over. It's called the Gorgon's Gaze. It is the eye of a basilisk, and it can paralyze an opponent if it looks into the eye in the palm.
Splendid. How much you want for this thing? I think I can take it off your hands.
How much are you looking to sell it? Looking to buy it for?
I'll give you 25 gold for it.
I spent 35 with you. How about we split the difference and you give me 30 for it?
You drive a hard bargain, Jack, but absolutely.
Fantastic. It's always a pleasure to do business with you.
It's always a pleasure to see my favorite customers, to be honest. Don't tell anybody else that's been in here, though.
I want to reach out to shake his hand, like, just confirm the deal.
Okay, he reaches out and gives you a big, meaty Freegis handshake. And when you shake his hand, he's alarmingly strong. Like, he is a dwarf, so you would expect him to be strong, but, like, that hand feels like it could crush something. Like, he's a... Just... There's more to the Freegis than meets the eye based on this handshake, it seems.
Based on this whole encounter, obviously.
Yeah.
You're a good man no matter what world you're in.
I'm going to put that on a robe or something, Jack. That's a wonderful catchphrase. I might put it on the...
selling t-shirts.
I might sew it in the ceiling of this tent. All right, y'all. Quit gawking. I got more customers now. Come on.
So is there any more stores around us, you see?
Only the ones you saw on the way in. I haven't made any more while you've been inside.
I'm gonna tip my hat to Freegis. Thank you, sir. I'm sure we're gonna find you again. I'm sure of it.
Does Free just say that as though he could have, but he just chose not to this time?
That's up to you. That's up to you.
Freegis.
I also I say thank you for your business once again, and then I leave.
Absolutely, Grim. I hope you make good use of those items. And you treat Mick well now. And he waves to you all.
Oh, I will, and I give Mick just a soft little pat.
Well, I'll have to learn what his voice sounds like.
As we're walking out, I kind of want to like elbow Grim a little bit, I guess in his knee. I don't know how far I can reach on Grim.
Yeah.
Hey, Krong? You want to go by Krong? You remember Krong, right?
Yes. Sorry, it took me a moment to understand what you were saying. Yes, that was actually my next destination. If you boys had other things to do, I don't know that any of the other shops will interest me, but I would love to let him know that we still have pokes in him. Maybe see if he can do something with it. Maybe his skills have advanced a little bit.
Before we go to any more stores, I'd just like you all to know that your Jack's equipment is not exactly what I would normally use, and I plan to sell much of it other than the few items I know are personal to us. But I'd like to give you all first pick before I sell it to any of the others. Jack appears to have been carrying a guide to wizarding, if any of you would be interested in it.
What? Jack had a book on him.
Yes, it was a book of wizardry.
Hey, you mind if I hold on to that?
Yes.
He
by all means.
He was teaching me how to read the words and everything.
I see. Well, if you ever need to have your lessons brought back up, I'd be happy to help you.
Sure.
Yes, no problem.
Arlo gets a little misty-eyed. Thank you. Don't matter which Jack it is, it always seems to be a goodness about you.
Don't get too emotional on me, Arlo.
Just hand me that book.
I hand him that book.
I'm gonna grab that book, and I'm just gonna look at it for a second. And can I roll an intelligence check to see if I can read maybe like one or two of the words on the cover or something?
Sure.
This is like a primer to arcane.
It's a 9.
You can make out the word
Could I try to read it?
You can make out the word wizard on the front. You sound it out. Wizard.
Arlo is happy with that. It is progress.
Okay.
Well done, Arlo.
I'll get there. Got a lot of these to get through.
Eros, I believe you can just read.
Okay. Well, I have like an average reading skill, so.
Yeah, so you can read. You can just generally read.
Well, I thought it's just like some special reading or something.
Do you want to know the title of the book? Is that what you're asking?
No, I thought I was dumb, so I thought I didn't know. I kind of forgot I could read.
Okay, no, you can definitely read.
All
right, so as you guys walk down the street, I'd like you for you to roll. I need Arlo. Arlo's at the front of the pack and coming out of this store, I'm gonna call it. So Arlo, roll a little perception check for me, bud, man.
I got a 12 to perceptify.
Down the street, inside Krong's booth, he has some help. He's being helped by a small creature, a height that you recognize. You can hear the subtle scratch of nails on the ground, a sound that's familiar to you because you were just a vulture, the sound of talony feet walking across the ground, and you can tell that he is being helped out by a feathered companion with a beak that looks very much like burb-like.
Ooh. Bum, bum, bum.
You can't tell whether it's burb or not from here, but it definitely looks like it's a creature of the same, what have you, the same race.
Noticing this, I'm putting on a little extra steam. I really want to get up to where Chrome is like working on some stuff, but I don't want to approach just yet. I kind of want to watch for just a second to see if I notice anything burb-tastic going on.
Okay.
Before I make an utter fool of myself.
Gotcha.
Grim is gonna just walk right on by, like he's focused on the shop.
Okay. You other two headed for the shop as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so you arrive at the shop and
I detonate planium.
you arrive at the shop and Krong is turned around backwards. He is hammering something on an anvil, and right beside him is a Kinku companion of his holding a bucket of water, ready for him to cool off whatever is on the forge or however water is used in forging. And you know, he's standing there next to him, and they don't really notice you walk up. So the four of you are standing now at the the table that separates you from the inside of his stall, watching him do his work, and you can hear dung dung dung. Hold it steady now. Dung dung. And he does not notice you.
Arla's standing back a little bit. I'm like outside the shop.
Yeah, so there's not even a roof on this thing. You know, it's just open air forge.
I speak up.
That'll work.
Krong was an orc, correct?
Yep.
I speak
Okay.
up and I say,
Normally Jack has an aversion to orcs. You don't see that here. Sorry,
Okay.
Grim.
"Hello, Krong.
Go ahead.
Hello there, sir. Welcome to Krong's, where everything you buy and everything I make is Krong strong.
Oh yes, I know that. I bought your beloved trident Pokesy from you many days ago.
Wait a second, you is the one who bought Pokesy off of me, you is? How is Pokesy doing, me love?
I pull it from off my back and I say, quite well, I think. It's been serving me wonderfully.
Ooh, splendid. May I hold her for a moment, please?
Sure.
He takes Pokesy out of your hands, and he grabs it, and he brings the points of the blade up to his nose, and he inhales. Oh, yes. She has seen some action, has she not, mister?
Action and betrayal on a friend of ours.
Betrayal, you say? What type of betrayal has my Pokesy been involved in?
I lent her to someone who needed a weapon, and that person ended up betraying us. Nearly got away with Pokesy too, but did not let that happen.
Oh, mister, what's your name again, sir?
Grim.
Mister, you must be more careful. Pokesy was not a lass made for betrayal. She was not made for the killing of innocents. She was made for the killing of what needs killing. You must be more careful, Mr. Grim, please.
I promise, I will be more careful with her. But it's actually quite curious to see you here. What are you doing so far away?
So far away from where, sir?
Lonesome.
Oh, excuse me. It's been a whirlwind of the last couple of months, it has. Let me be honest with you. I can see two of your other companions here right next to the boy with the red skin and horns. Hello, young man, how do you do? You're a new face.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Work on your manners, son.
Thank you.
Work on your manners. Somebody's talking to you. Maybe I'm taller than you. You ought to offer me some respect. But of course, I remember your friends over
Hi,
here.
sir.
The one that what used to wear the mask that he had, and then the short fellow there with can't touch the metal. I remember them both. After you boys came cutting through Lonesome like a swath of yellow jackets, just destroying everything and killing the constable and just stirring up the whole town. Nothing really got the same. I wasn't making my sales like I'd used to. Everyone was afraid, hiding in their homes. The Continental Army of the High Council came through and started throwing people in jail. Not a lot of business to be had in Lonesome, so I said, Krong, what will I do? And then I said to myself, Krong, why don't we go to where everyone will want to buy things that are Krong strong? Melora's Quiver. And so now we're here.
Well, that is certainly a tale. At any rate, I'm glad to see you. I have recently been curious of Pokesy. Is there any way you could make her stronger?
Make her stronger? I suppose I could reinforce her, maybe. Make her a little bit more potent for the poking, I suppose. It'll take me some time, though. You'll have to leave her with me for a little bit of time.
Oh, that's fair. I would be more than happy to do that. If you can return her to me stronger and better than before, that would be fantastic. But another point of business for me, and then I should be done, I believe. Are you interested in buying these wares? And I show him the stuff that I collected.
I see some maces here. I see some leather. I could melt down the maces and make them into something strong for sure. Not much I can do with that leather armor, but to cut it into strips and use it for fashionings for the things that I make. I could take some of that stuff off your hands. I could, absolutely.
Okay. So how are we doing that? Are we doing it based off like half the prices?
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it like that. Sure.
Okay. So is he taking all the stuff, all 5 items? Or is he just taking the armor and maces?
What other items do you have?
The 2 heavy crossbows.
The 2 heavy crossbows. Yeah, he'll take those. One of your pieces of armor, though, I said was pretty mangled, so he's gonna probably take a quarter of that price.
Oh, I just left that one.
Oh, okay, cool, gotcha. Yeah, then he'll take half the price of what they're worth.
Okay, so then that would be 59 gold for all of it.
Ooh, well, that is a lot of stuff, but I say gold is gold. There's several items here.
That is true, and I'm sure you'll get some of it back once Pokesy is returned to me.
Yes. I will do my best with Pokesy, but I'm a busy man here, Melora's Quiver. You might have to give me a few days, son.
Oh, that's fine. I will come for her at the very least before we leave.
Splendid, Grim. Splendid. Wonderful indeed. Thank you for your business, sir.
Well, thank you.
Mister.
Yes,
I'd like
young man.
for sale, please.
You'd like to see what I've got for sale, would you? What's a young man like you need with weapons and things of a sharp nature?
I'd just like to see what kind of short sword you got, mister.
Short swords indeed. Well, I've got just the thing for you. If you're looking for another short sword, I've got everything that's strong. Won't have to worry about it breaking, shaking, or cutting loose. But also, underneath my cabinet here, I've also got a few weapons that have been imbued with a bit of a magical power. Just in case you need to be harming them ghosts or goblins.
Oh. May I see them, mister?
Oh, you absolutely may indeed see them. So he pulls out his short swords as well as some magical ones. These are +1 weapons. He seems to have in his magical section. See, he seems to have at least one of every kind of weapon that has imbued with the +1. Everybody's familiar with +1 weapons, no?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
What are they?
They give a +1 to your attack. Like if you add a +1 to your attack roll before you add everything else, and they are considered to be magical weapons. But he also has just regular old common short swords as well.
They also give a +1 to your damage roll.
Ooh, +1 to your damage roll too.
Nice.
I am a little new to this, so what kind of enchantments do these short swords have, mister?
They swing better and cut a little bit deeper.
Oh, they're just. Okay, my bad.
A
So,
very
how much are
basic
they?
enchantment, young man.
Oh, sorry, mister. Mister, how much are they?
How
Mister.
much are they? I'll tell you right now. I'm selling these magical weapons for 20 gold pieces apiece, young man.
Okay. I shall sell you this very good short sword for 10 gold.
No, you will not. I will not be purchasing that short sword for 10 gold. I will not be purchasing your ratty old regular sword for 10 gold. I'll give you 5.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, you certainly will. I won't go a penny over it for that grimy little sword you've got there.
Well, I know you won't.
So
I'm
he
sorry.
says, if you're gonna
That-
buy a
that-
+1 sword, which is not what he'd say. If you're gonna buy a magical weapon, then how about we just call it 15 even, and I'll take the sword as well.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Thank you, mister.
You're very welcome. He takes your gold and takes your sword, and he pulls out one of his +1 swords and hands it to you. A sword that can be effective against creatures that have resistance to non-magical weapons, my friend. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted there in the middle of his speech because I think the stream cut off earlier. But maybe not. My timer on my stream counter turned off, but we'll see.
We're reading 138 on the counter here.
Yeah, that's fine. That one's good. The stream just got wonky. All's well.
This whole time while everybody's kind of been haggling and talking, I rolled an 18 on an insight check to see, do I notice anything burbtastic about this kinku-ish sounding fellow?
Okay. So Arlo, you're just standing there. This is a place that sells prominently metal goods, and it's cinematically, it's like you're zooming in, like you're staring at him, and every time we cut to your point of view, like the camera's zooming in on him, zooming in on this kinku as he works. And eventually the kinku turns to you, and he turns to you and he looks you dead in the eye and he says, "Tweet tweet." And you know it's not Burb.
Kill him.
No, Arlo just kind of, he had his hopes up. Like Burb has been a good friend and a good companion all this while, and that just kind of put it to rest right there.
Yeah.
So, still the search for Burb continues.
The search for Burb does continue indeed. Okay, and he says, and I've also, since you boys have been interested in Pokesy before, I've also got one new little ditty I've been working on. And let me show you indeed. And he turns around and he reaches under the table and he pulls out a long lance. And he lays it on the table. And he says, "This here is what I like to call the Lance of Hades. And I'll tell you what this thing does. This is a lance that's been magically imbued by one of my friends what does enchantments. And when you throw this lance or release it, you can recall it back to yourself. But be careful. If you don't catch it, it's gonna keep on rolling. So just make sure you're ready. You've got a proper dexterity to be able to grab this thing out of the air if you'd like to throw it around and harm others with it. The Lance of Hades, that's Hades. Those that have played the game Hades last year released, Game of the Year contender, will understand the reference. Bad news. Bad news for the 3-man crew. We got camera problems.
No, it was my face.
Yep.
I don't know if frozen in time.
I don't know if we still got anybody watching or listening tonight, so I don't know if it's worth fixing, but you can give it a shot.
Is that going to cut out the regular recording too?
Yeah, it'll mess up the recording if I try and unplug and replug. So
Oh, well, let's not do that then.
I'll just turn off the camera.
Yeah, the video is just for the YouTube stream and the Twitch stream, right?
Yep. Chat/YouTuber people, I hope you don't mind. We're cutting the cam to the studio of the 3 boys. It's just going to be me and Zebu.
You'll just have to imagine how amazing we look.
Yep.
I don't think you can throw a lance.
You can't?
Yeah, lance like a jousting lance kind of thing. Lance?
Yeah, it's either a jousting lance or there's also like a lance where it's a really long bladed spear, basically like a boar spear kind of thing.
Well, I pictured a situation in which you could hurl it at something or jam it in something and stick it to something and leave it there and then maybe recall it. And
okay.
it's a magically enchanted weapon, so there's a benefit there. And
yeah,
it's. I picture.
We'll figure that out. We'll call it just do the +1 thing because it's magical and it's also recallable.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Okay.
So
it sounds like a pole arm.
So this is just picture a long metal ornate rod with essentially like a short sword on the end of it. Like that's what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
That was kind of what I was thinking too, but I didn't equate that with lance, so that's why I was kind of wondering earlier.
Yeah. So no, it's not like a medieval lance.
Oh.
This thing would be effective in lancing boils if you needed to.
Like really big ones.
Yeah, like a really big boil. You could just lance the crap out of it.
Wide.
A 4-foot wide boil. A boil big enough to let the kids jump up and down on.
Put that on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. This is what people are missing when they don't watch our Dungeon Boys streams.
That's true.
Yep.
They get the aftermath.
Yes?
Do you remember if the basilisk gloves, are they magical or not? I can't remember.
They're enchanted, so
they're not +1, but they're good against like magic.
Yeah, they're a magical item.
Right,
so yeah,
I thought they were, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't remember.
Yep. So everybody's pretty well decked out now with the ability to attack magical creatures.
Yeah, we should be fine.
So, Krong, how much do you want for the Lance of Hades?
Well, let me tell you here. I'd like to have about 70 gold pieces for this Lance of Hades. I've been working hard on it. Can you see the ornateness on the handle? I've spent many time just carving away. I've even been teaching my apprentice here, Tweet, how to carve. It's very hard to communicate with him, but he's learning quickly.
I see. I don't know if I need how its ornateness. I was more just looking for a magical weapon. You said you had one of each type of magical weapon in your little box over there?
I do. I'd sell you a regular lance, just a regular old, normally enchanted lance for 45 gold pieces if you fancy that.
I see. And would you be willing to make a bit of a trade to offset that price?
Depends on what you're trading, my friend.
A great deal of just regular equipment.
Such as?
Leather armor, a rapier, short bow, 2 daggers.
Well. You know
and,
what?
Of course, 20 arrows to go with the short bow.
I suppose I'd allow you. Would you like to put this against the Lance of Hades? Go for the big thing, or you just want a regular lance?
I suppose it depends on how much consideration you'll give me for these items.
How about I knock the price of whatever you'd like down 25 gold pieces for those things?
I see. Yeah, I believe I'll just take the normal lance then.
A frugal man is a man I can respect, even though it's not as strong as the other things I got. Anyway, absolutely, I will perfectly and kindly accept 15 gold pieces and the rest of your gear for a +1 lance.
Well, perhaps you've talked me into it. I'll take the Lance of Hades.
They always said Krong was a rather hard bargain. A strong bargain, if you will. Absolutely. Within, what is that, 45? No, yes, 45 gold pieces for the Lance of Hades.
Perfect. And do you sell armor by any chance?
Yes, I've got armors of many kinds. Yes, I do.
I'm looking for a full plate armor.
Full plate armor? Well, I suppose I might have a suit of that back here.
How much for it?
Let me Google how much that costs.
You probably shouldn't Google it.
1,600.
Yeah,
Really?
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's crunky.
Oh man,
It does not fit with your
with my pricing structure.
economy so far.
All right, full plate armor.
That was
Full
1,500.
plate. Man, I haven't sold a set of full plate armor since, golly, I don't know how we not did that last. I'd say it's worth 100 gold pieces, though.
I see. And would you knock half off for a half plate armor?
Just the left half.
How about I knock off 25%?
All right, that sounds good.
Before Jack goes to pay for the armor, Arlo wants to put the gold in Krong's hand. There you go.
Are you sure, Arlo?
Yep, I'm sure on this one, but I know
appreciate
that
it.
we're down a burb, and he's always been there to watch our back like that. So without him here, I think it's appropriate. Besides, I'm holding on to a lot of his gold anyhow. So
Thank you.
It matters not where it comes from to me. I'll take the gold.
Cool. I'm now the proud owner of full plate armor.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Sneaking is no longer an option.
Chung, 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 chung.
to the WD-40 away.
Yep. All right. Are you guys good to go with Krong?
Yes, sir.
Krong
Mm-hmm.
has been Krong.
Okay. So Krong said, "Well, it's been a pleasure doing business with you all. I hope you enjoy your new weapons and your new armor. I hope it does some killing and doesn't help you get killed. Grim, please come back and see me about Pokesy, and we'll work up a price once I decide what it all I can do for it. So you all please have a lovely afternoon. The sun will be going down, and I can assure you, you don't want to be wandering about Melora's Quiver in the dark, because that's when more of the seedy gentlemen and ladies come out and be bad.
I see. Well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Is it a tent?
Nope,
I
it's like
get out the flap?
no, it's like an open air, no walls, nothing. He's just got his like table set up to block his forge.
Then I just turn away from him. But I want to turn towards Grim.
Okay.
Grim, did he say you killed the constable? Your group?
Yes, I did. That is quite the story. I bashed his skull in with this fist right here.
You
To be fair,
personally?
yes, personally, I was there. Alternate you was there as well. But, yes, we all were there except for Eros. But, in our defense, he did kill people, and he did, sort of try to ruin a whole town. Fuck, if I remember correctly. And he also said, well, no, he didn't do that. That's just what happened. But he had kidnapped the Full Hearts as well, and that's why we were there.
The Full Hearts that we just met not long ago.
That you just met. Well, I guess technically we all did just meet them not long ago. Yes, those Full Hearts. He did have them in his basement, and we rescued them, and that is the very night that he died.
I see. Well, they seem like nice enough folk, so if you thought it was the right thing to do, then that makes sense to me.
I'm glad to be counted trustworthy. Though there are some things that I regret, certainly. We can talk about those later.
Yes, I believe we have more shops to get to if you're interested.
I am.
Before we depart, I just wanted to hang back with Chrome for a second while they had that little side conversation.
Okay.
Master Chrome, I'm
Yes.
not much of a weapon buying man myself, but you done us right before, and it's good to see you're doing good business here, and I just want to wish you well.
Well, thank you, young man. Appreciate the kind words of such a small fellow. I suppose it must be even harder to get those words all the way up here to my ears, so I appreciate you making an effort. I wish you the best on your endeavors as well, young Arlo.
I lean back and I kind of cup my hands and say, "Thank you, sir." And I want to just shake my head and walk away.
You're very welcome, and remember, stay strong.
Love Chrome. That's just a good character.
Oh man, you guys have done a lot of shopping, but I did mention 2 other stores. This will just be a shopping episode.
Anytime we have shopping, it's a shopping episode.
Yeah,
That's all
that's
good.
true.
We got to stock up at least like once every couple seasons, or like once every 20 episodes or so.
It is always fun to RP with the DM because a lot of times we're just RPing with each other.
Yeah.
We actually interact with you on this one.
Yep.
All right, boys, what you say? We got that place with the rope dangling off of it. Look like it's all curved up somehow. And then we got something with a rock.
I believe the Cave Savers is the closer one.
Cave Saver?
Yes,
Yep.
the rock one.
Cave Saver. Why you go saving a cave?
I don't know, but Melora calls me to adventure these days, and what greater adventure is there than spelunking?
What's that?
Cave diving, my friend.
That is a
You're
fair point.
diving into a cave.
We are adventurers, are we not?
Well, yeah, but you know what? I can't wrap my head around
Less
it.
talking,
let's
less
go take a
more
look at it.
moving.
Let us go. Onward.
Yeah.
We are dungeon crawlers.
Yes,
We are
definitely. I agree with
Titans
that.
of the quest.
Okay,
I'm
I
sure
wouldn't
enough. I
say
ain't got a
Titans.
cross.
Grim, you seem to know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I certainly do. And I am fond of a good adventure myself. I'm also
As we're
quite curious
walking that
what
way.
you have.
Go ahead, Grim.
Yeah, me too. I have no idea what a hole in a wall store literally is gonna have.
As we're walking toward the Cave Savers, I just like little side mention to Grim. Grim, what's one of them spelunks? What's that?
as we're walking, I bend down and kind of like look at Arlo and I say, it's when you, basically in short terms, it's when you go to explore a cave, typically with ropes and things to make sure you don't fall or slip or trip. It's just an adventure, you know. You uncover something exciting, or you find a monster, which is also exciting in its own way, but also quite dangerous. It's a way some people have fun, and it's a way some people make their living. I'm sure we'll do it a time or two. I think
Well,
the
Arlo,
closest thing that we've done to it is when we've gone down into the constable's basement.
yeah, Arlo's just nodding along to all this like it makes perfect sense. Yeah, yeah. But you can't eat a spelunk, can you?
No, you cannot eat it.
We might need to address that here pretty soon.
Real quick, out of character moment. Is the word spelunking the word spelunk? Because if you drop something into a cave, it goes spelunk.
Yeah.
I've wondered that.
I don't know. If you drop me into a cave, I don't go spelunk.
Well, like if you drop like a cave full of water, I don't know. Anyway, you guys walk into Cave Savers, and Arlo, you are struck by the image of a gnome, tinkery looking guy. He got big spectacles on his eyes. His eyes are like, you know, zoomed in almost like that lady, Maz, is that her name from Star Wars?
Yeah.
He's very hurt. Was that correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, very much in that regard. It's a gnome, and he says, "Hello, welcome to Cave Savers. My name's Tom, and I've got several things that can help you, just in case you're deciding to go and make a fool of yourself diving into a cave down in the Bone Mountains. Would you like to see my wares?"
You know, I suspect this will come in quite handy in the future.
I make a fool of myself on a regular basis. I'm game.
Wonderful. Well, step up and see my wares. And he shows you 4 types of items. First of all, he says, "This is a trap chipper." And he pushes a small thing out onto the counter. It's a small round metal device, and it looks like it has a glowing green gem in the middle of it. And he says, "If you slap one of these to a wall or a floor, all the traps attached to that surface will trigger. And it's got a small switch even that you can engage a 10-second timer on it as well. I'm selling these."
Kind of handy.
He also has, he pulls out a package of what looks like chopsticks. And he says, "These here are called hold-ups. These look like small sticks, but really, whenever they have a piece, they're small sticks with pieces of twine wrapped around them. But whenever you remove the twine, the stick becomes a great wooden beam of any length you desire that can be used to hold up shaky ceilings or to cross dangerous pits."
Wait a minute. Now, those things get larger and they'll hold it up.
Yes, they'll become a joist or a bridge for you.
Like in case it wants to come down on top of your head or something, right?
That's correct.
How much something like that?
That's 20 gold pieces for one of those. They're very hard to make.
Yeah, let me, you got, how many of them you got? You got a couple of them?
I got as many as you'd like to buy, young man.
They don't sound that hard to make.
It's stick.
I mean,
I'll tell you what. Let me get 2 of them from you.
he hands you 2 of them. He says, "Be very careful with the twine. Like I said, once the twine is removed, there's no going back."
Right, got it. And I'm holding one of them in each hand, just
Okay.
like my life depends on these. Like I'm
Wonderful.
focusing my intent on these.
I'd also like to purchase one.
Very well. Here here you go. He hands it to you, and he takes your gold.
Thank you, sir.
He also pulls out a little pouch, and he opens it up, and he shows you inside, and you can see little white orange pieces of what looked like to be a sort of candy. And he says, "This is a package of Nightlight's gum. It's gum that whenever you chew it, your head becomes a source of great light. No, that's not true. Your head doesn't become a source of light. The gum becomes a source of light. So once you chew the gum for a little bit, it lets off 50 feet worth of bright light. And one pack contains 3 pieces for 10 gold pieces.
Now that's some bright light.
That's that is very unique gum. I worry about the properties of such confectionaries.
Yeah.
I mean, perhaps the next item.
What if you swallow it? I don't want it. No, never mind. Go ahead.
And finally, I have a bottle that I call the Rebreeze. This is a magical bottom that smells very faintly of freshly washed laundry. When you open it, it can replace all the air in a 100-foot radius with fresh air.
Talk about air you can breathe?
Yes, air that you can breathe. Yes, indeed.
How much is that one?
Excuse me?
How much does that one cost?
30 gold pieces, another one that's fairly hard to fashion.
Bottle of air.
How often may it be used, or is it only a one-time thing?
You can use it once a day, as long as you let the air out into a fresh air, high pressure, low pressure kind of thing.
This is a bottle.
I know I breathe at least once a day. Grim gonna pick that one up?
You know what? I'll take it. It seems like it could come in handy, and it is just specific enough that if you needed it, you would rather have it on hand. Certainly.
Yes, maybe so. Sounds like good logic. I'll take your gold now.
Can't
I
breathe
give
30
him
gold.
30 gold.
All right. He gives you the Rebreeze bottle.
It's
Mister.
Rebreeze?
Yeah, Rebreeze. Kind of like Febreze.
I got you.
Mister?
Yes, sir, young man.
How much was the green gem again?
The trap tripper, that's 15 gold pieces per. I have 5 of those I can sell you, if you want.
Bit of meta. You say it'll trigger any traps on a surface. Is that to a radius, or is that like in a room?
Say you're walking down a hallway. If you slapped it on the wall to your right, it would go until that wall made an angle.
Okay.
It's a cool item.
But what about like the floor?
The floor, no, it would be like a room. Yeah, once it crosses a threshold, it'll stop working.
Okay.
You know how magic concerns itself with thresholds.
Yeah. Are these single use?
The trap trippers, yes, are single use.
I see. I think they're a worthwhile purchase.
I could see something like that.
I'll take one.
I'll take one too, mister.
Splendid. He hands you each a trap tripper.
How much for your glow stuff?
10 gold pieces per pack.
Now there's a pack up. How many's in a pack?
3 pieces.
You know what? I'm gonna take 3 pieces.
Splendid. And I'll take 3 gold pieces.
I want to lean over towards what's your character's name again? Arrows. I want to lean over towards Arrows. That's just the novelty of it all. I want to swallow one and see what happens.
I think that's a really good idea, Arlo.
Well, there's 3 of them, so never mind.
Okay.
What's it called? The night lights?
Yeah, night lights gum.
Got it. Night lights gum.
What flavor is it?
Tastes like dark chocolate.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's an inside joke.
Caramel citrus.
Yeah.
With an aftertaste of dark chocolate.
It tastes like the aftertaste of that fluoride you used to get at the dentist 3 hours later.
Oh,
Nice.
Hey,
okay.
You find a little fleck of it between your teeth.
Did somebody call my name?
Yes.
Yep.
What's the radius of the bottle again? It's 100-foot diameter. Or
100-foot sphere.
sphere.
Yeah, so yeah, it'd be a radius, so it'd be a 200-foot diameter sphere.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
That's a big old fart bubble right there.
Yeah.
Yup.
Well, Tom, I respect the work you do. This is adventurers need equipment like this, and you provide nice things for those of us who like to explore the deep, dark undergrounds and things of that nature.
Well, you seem to really answer the call of adventure. I'll be honest with you. The reason I make these is because I myself have been accidentally trapped inside of a mountain for many months before. That's why my eyes are so bad, and I just want to keep other people from falling into those same pitfalls.
I see. Well, you've covered many of the bases.
Splendid. I hope they lead to you not dying, my friend.
As he's talking about like the dangers of being underground, all that kind of stuff, Arlo's eyes just keep getting like a little bit bigger and bigger.
You okay, Arlo?
Me? Oh yeah. I'll be all right. Yeah. We'll be fine when we get down to the splunking.
Think
We do the splunking.
Think about the good things about your gum. Whatever you can find it, at least.
I don't know if there's anything. We're gonna find out about the gum.
Yeah, we're gonna find it.
Eros.
Yes.
There was a shop you wanted to go to, correct?
Yes. It was called.
The naughty rope shop.
Yes.
Yes, you guys walk out and head over there towards the shop that was called Notting But the Best. That is a stall operated by a spindly older lady. Her skin is baked dark and wrinkly by the sun. She says, "Hello, welcome to Notting But the Best. My name's Kavu. Would you like to buy some of my rope?"
Is there something special about your rope, Kavu?
Oh, yes, indeed. I have 3 types of rope. I've got stiffening rope, I've got the eye hole rope, and I've got the knotting special rope.
What do they do?
I'll tell you.
I can imagine this lady, like, she sounds like she might look like a piece of dried mango.
Yep, that's what she looks like. So, the stiffening rope is rope that becomes perfectly straight and unbendable at the snap of the owner's fingers, and loose again on a second snap. It's not ultimately unbendable, and it will crumble under excessive weight, but it could get you out or into a jam.
How tough is it when straightened? Does it still cut like normal rope?
It still cuts like normal rope when straightened, yes, absolutely.
I see.
To the second one, please.
There's also the eye hole rope. This is one of my personal favorites. This is a rope that allows the user to travel from one end to the other as if inside the rope. Essentially, it's a rope that teleports the user from one end to the other. It's useful for threading the needle, as it were.
How much is this, my lady?
Now, it is my favorite and extremely hard to make. I only have one currently. This is a 200 gold piece product.
That is certainly quite the treasure.
Sorry, I cannot afford that.
And then finally, the knotting special rope. This is rope that will untie itself when its command words are spoken. The command words are, "That'll do." And as she says that, there's a rope on the table that's in a knot, and when she says that, it just flops out and becomes straight.
That's all well and good, but how do you put the knot back in it?
Well, you have to tie the knot, you fool. Don't you know how to tie a knot?
Well, yeah, I didn't know if it was automatic in some way. I'm just trying to find out all the details here.
I'm sorry, it's been a long day.
How much for the knotting special?
Knotting special rope is a 75 gold piece item.
I see.
A lot of magic
And
goes into these.
how long is a unit of rope?
I could really cut it into any length you'd like. Up to 100 feet.
Okay.
I was supposed to say, can we get like an industrial reel? Like, what's going on? leave the eye hole rope outside the cage.
If the rope is cut, does it Does each piece retain its properties?
No. Yeah. No.
Maybe.
There are diminishing returns on. There are diminishing returns each time. Each time the rope is cut, the magic that enchants the rope grows weaker.
You got some metal on that? Like it unties less quickly, or?
Let's say so you could cut it into 2 or 3 pieces, but if you start once you go beyond 3 pieces of rope, the untying properties go away.
Okay.
So let's say you cut it into 2 pieces. Both of those 2 pieces maintain the ability to untie itself. You cut one of those pieces into 2 pieces. Now you have 3 pieces. All 3 pieces will untie itself. You cut the other piece into 2 pieces. The first 3 pieces will untie themselves. The new piece will not.
That was a play on words, right?
Ha ha ha. Very complicated. Didn't intend for it to be. Didn't think that through when I made it.
So instead of buying a 100-foot piece of rope, would you sell 5 20-foot pieces of rope with the properties intact? Huh?
Jack, I already have a 50 feet rope. How much?
This is a special rope, John.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a knotting rope too.
It unties itself.
True.
Yes, I'd be willing to do that for you, sure.
Okay. 75 gold then?
Absolutely.
Excellent. I will make that purchase.
Splendid, wonderful.
Tell you what, how much you say that eyeball rope is?
The eye-hole rope is 200 gold pieces, mister.
Can you go a little bit lower than that?
What's your number?
I mean, I got some regular rope here. I'll trade you out on that.
Regular rope is worth nothing to me. I sell magical rope, silly.
Excuse me. Keith, I do have a plethora of books from the ship's captain from season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any good roping books in there I might be able to trade? I got 74 books still in my storage.
Let's just roll a random... let's roll a d20. If you roll above a 15, you have a book she'd like to buy.
That's a 13, amigo.
All right. So you tell her about the books that you have in your hat. You show her some. She says, I don't have much need for books. I'm sorry. 200 gold pieces is my price.
All right. Yeah, you ask a high price, but I think it's worth it.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. I'm going to pay the 200 for the eye hole rope.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, perfect. She says, thank you very much. Thank you all for your business. It's nearing the end of the day. I didn't expect to make so many sales.
Did I just purchase the full 100 feet of eye hole rope?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll work. I know you said it was up to 100, but I just didn't know how much it was. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a specific amount, you can have a different amount, but it'll be the same price.
Quarter mile.
Is this an attuned item? Like, can only Josh teleport through it? Or can he lay it out and we can all, like, blue skadooed through it? And then
No, yeah, he can allow other people can go through it. Essentially, if you know it's one of those ropes, you can hop through it.
Excellent. See, that was my reason behind purchasing, because I can go places that these fellas can't.
Yeah.
But if I drag the end of a rope with me.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet deal. Not too bad.
Well, you young lady, have a good day.
I'm far from young man, but you flatter me. You have a good day as well.
Good old Leatherface.
Slam the tin flap shut.
Okay.
What'd Grim say?
Where to now?
Somewhere get something to eat around here.
The day is ending. The sun is heading down. So if you guys are finished shopping, you know that you eventually have to get back to the Krusty Krag, but you guys can of course do as you please until then.
I believe the Krusty Krag serves food, and I think we're supposed to meet Kate there anyway.
Yes. I am quite curious as to what the nightlife of this town is like, though.
I'm sure a town of adventurers that's constantly churning, it must be quite impressive.
When Grim says that, I'm reaching in my pocket and I pull out some of the gum. Nightlight.
No, that's okay, thank you. I can see well in the dark.
Oh, great.
I can't.
Thought you said nightlight, so.
Onward then.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, suppose so. Wonder if she sold that scorpion we perforated earlier.
I'm sure she did.
As you approach the Krusty Krag, you are approaching a large, lightly colored stone and clay structure. On top of it are several stone stalactites pointing towards the sky. From outside, you can tell that this is one of the rowdiest taverns you have ever encountered. As you walk up onto the front door, Kate is standing there. In her hand is a pouch of what you assume to be gold, and she says, "Welcome back, my new friends. I was able to sell that scorpion. I was able to get 15 gold pieces for each of you."
Oh, wonderful.
Nice.
Fantastic.
So she did.
That's a good deal right there.
She
And good to
divvies
meet
up the gold, and she says to you, "How did you all make out? Did you make out like thieves in the market district?"
you. Thieves.
Well, not quite, but I think we did a pretty good job for each of us.
Got me some gum and some rope. It was a good day.
Wonderful. Well, go ahead.
I seem to be fully outfitted for all that I needed.
Very, very well. Well, I'm glad you all met me here at the Krusty Krag. We have a few, at least one or two things that I'd like to do here in Melora's Quiver before we move into the Bone Mountains. But first, why don't we go inside and grab some dinner? What do you say?
That sounds good to me.
That sounds great.
Already there.
Fantastic.
Now, you guys go into, this is definitely one of the rowdiest taverns you've ever been in. Kate, for some reason, seems to be taking to this quite well. She is not alarmed. You know, as you walk in, someone is landing a punch on some big burly dude, like right in front of her. She's able to deftly swing around as the fight goes past you. There are, little tussles breaking out all over this very large bar floor. There are plenty of tables to sit at. Some of them have, covered in spills. There are just people moving all over the place. There are people shouting. There are people dancing. There are people having fun. People are clinging glasses together and slamming skulls together all at the same time. It is quite a rowdy place. And a large bald barkeep with an eye patch can be seen and heard quieting the crowd around the bar every now and again. And in the back of the room, you can see some men rolling dice and gambling for money. And Kate heads directly for a table, and she sits down and she yells to the barkeep. She says, "Barkeep, a round of food and drinks for my table, please." And the guy with the eye patch is in the process of pouring someone a drink. He raises a hand to her and he says, "Coming right up." And he heads towards the kitchen to grab you all some food as you sit down at this table.
Cool.
Nice.
What do I roll to sit down?
Don't need to. You're good.
Okay.
Grim, were you saying anything?
No, I was just saying I sit down.
Okay, so she says a few things. "Okay, boys. I've been here a few weeks now, and Melora's Quiver is a place where there are no rules or laws. Just to tell you a little bit about this place, just in case we're here for a little while. A person can do what they think is best for themselves. That's why you see all these people tossing each other around in here. There's no one to stop them. There's no one to stop any of these fights. It's the Wild West out here. But of course, this is a staging area, as I'm sure you know, a staging area to go into the Bone Mountains for treasure hunters and fugitives, and anyone who seeks glory in the Bone Mountains where there's so much unexplored area. And of course, that's why we're here."
Jack kind of perks up at the word glory.
Glory? Jack, you're concerned with glory?
Yes, I've taken an oath with Melora. I'm an adventurer through and through. I seek glory in all things.
Splendid. Then you are in the right place. And hopefully your desire for glory will lead us to finding the... And she, brings her head close to the table. She says, finding the orb. Moradin's tiny orb? You all have been briefed on this item, haven't you?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
We have.
Okay.
Briefly briefed.
Then you understand its importance, don't you?
Yes.
Right, but how are we supposed to find a tiny little thing on that whole mountainside?
Well, we have information that says that the orb is somewhere deep into the Bone Mountains. Now, we have to find this thing. So, we must find it. There is no other option. Our plan A is to find the orb, procure it, take it back to Buckland, and save the servants of the scale. Because if we do not, there is no plan B. All is lost. So, there will be no negativity. We will be finding this orb. And B, I'm not sure exactly how we're going to find it, but I've done a lot of scouting. And I believe, based on what we have learned from some of our spies, and she looks at Eros kind of with a sly glance, like some of the folks we've paid to do our spying, that...
The ones that haven't been caught.
Yeah. That the orb is in an ancient dwarven fortress somewhere hidden in the Bone Mountains. Now, I've also heard a legend that there is a map that reveals certain special magical items in our world. It's believed that Moradin's tiny orb was crafted by the god Moradin himself, and there is legend of a map somewhere in the world that has these things written down.
I slapped the book right on the table. Oh, do you mean this map?
Grim, what do you mean? What? No, now's not a time for joking. We haven't even had one drink.
I flip it open and I'm looking for. I want to see if I can see the orb on the map.
Okay, so as you look at the map, for anyone who's listening, last season the party found a map that they were told by Garl Glittergold, one of the gods of this world, that they were told is the map that reveals the locations of gods, of items that were made by the gods. And Grim is slapping down that very book with the map in it. And Grim, as you look at it and you put your hand on the map, you see that the Mask of Many Faces, that item that was made by Garl Glittergold, the one that you have on your person right now, I assume, right?
Yeah.
you can see that mask is hovering right on the map where Melora's quiver would be. Right. It's not named, but the area of Medine where Melora's quiver is, the Mask of Many Faces is hovering right there. And as you look around nearby, slightly northeast of the mask, in the heart of the Bone Mountains, you can see a particular mountain, and inside that mountain, as you look at it, a small orb begins to appear and vibrate a little bit on the map.
Wonderful. And then I slap it closed and I hide it back on my person.
Wait. No, bring that back out. I need to get a better look at it. What am I looking at here?
I do not trust the denizens of this place any more than I trust Misko. So I do not think we will be looking at that again here.
Oh, well, very well. But that's the map that I've been told I didn't even know existed, and now you just have it?
Yep. Funny how these things work, isn't it?
It is kind of funny how these things work.
Good call, Grim, on not having it out for too long. We've got a rough idea of where it is, and we can review the map a bit closer once we get on our way.
Exceptional.
Arlo's just kind of arms crossed, just nodding approvingly. Yep.
Exceptional. Well, this will limit our time that we need to be here in Melora's quiver, certainly. And based on what I saw of that thing that you didn't have, It looks like it's close to the spot that I assume we need to be going, so my plan remains quite similar to what it was, and that map will help us hone in on the exact location of the orb. But we do need to make some preparations here in Melora's Quiver. Now, how are you all doing on funds?
Could be better.
Laughably.
I don't worry about it too much.
Decent.
That was a great way of telling me very little information with all of your words. Based on what you said, I assume that Grim and Jack don't have much money left. Arrow seems satisfied with his amount of money, and Arlo, I'm not sure you're even concerned with money at all.
Arlo he doesn't really get the concept of it, but it's there anyway, so.
Okay.
I would say that I have a fair amount of money, enough to do what I need to do, but I'm always looking to gain more.
Okay.
I
Well,
believe I have enough money to pay for this evening's meal and a place to sleep.
Splendid. Okay. Well, we'll take care of that for you. One other important thing. Things that we have learned about this place that we're going to be going is, I assume that one of you as well have brought with you a certain key.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Pretty sure Jack has that, but he doesn't know he has that.
Okay.
I think Jack does.
All right. Well,
Maybe the Jack disappeared with the key that we need, and now this Jack does not have it.
I can tell you for certain that Albert and Corinne would not have sent you if you didn't have the key. The key is supposed to open the Dwarven Fortress for us to get Moradin's tiny orb. Surely one of you has this key I'm referring to.
Eros checks his pockets. Anything that could fit in. Anything.
I've got a key, and I've set the key on the table.
Okay, she immediately puts her hand over it and says, "Yes, okay, that's the key. I can keep it safe for you, or you can keep it yourself, but we can't let people see that right here."
Grim, do you know what this key is? Perhaps you should hold on to it.
Sure, I'll hold on to it. I'll keep the things safe.
I seem not to understand its importance.
That is fine. I out of character. I don't remember this key at all.
Okay, gotcha. So
key off of that dead guy.
yeah, I was about to explain. Yes, Simon Treasure Taker had a key that you now know is made of solid planium that you were able to take off of him, and it was essentially an item that you were supposed to bring to Albert and Corinne Fullheart. And they really should have mentioned it last week, but there was a lot going on. So the key is being mentioned now, and you have the key. And Kate says, "Yes, this key is meant to open the Dwarven Fortress where we're headed. So keep it safe, keep it attached to you, keep it somewhere where you don't believe it can be stolen from you, because without that key, I fear we're not getting inside."
I'm going to specifically state that Grim is keeping an eye on all the important things that he has, like the key, the book, and the mask.
Okay, gotcha. Understood.
Holding those very close to his chest.
Understood. Okay, so
Arlo is keeping an eye on Grim, who has the very important things.
perfect. Okay, so she says,
Just checking everybody out, seeing what they do.
by this time your food has arrived. You guys are all eating a meal, sharing some ale together. I don't know what proper drinking age is in this world, but we'll say the Eros is perfectly.
Water, since I can create it and it's cheap.
Okay, he's making his own water, then having something to drink.
Glass of warm water.
So she says, "Now, not only are the Bone Mountains a dangerous place where monsters that have never been seen, much less studied, roam freely, there are also some passages through the mountains that are currently impassable," which is ironic to call them passages if they're impassable. But one such passage, which is, covered in an avalanche of rocks and stone, is where we need to be going. It's in the region where we believe this Dwarven Fortress to be, and based on what I just saw on that map, it seems to be accurate, that we're going to have to use one of these passages to get there. It's deep and relatively narrow and covered in an avalanche of stone. Now, I assume, with Arlo, your ability to transform into animals, and I'm sure the rest of you have great powers to be able to get around these things. I'm not the kind of person that wants to go in half-cocked, though. So I have a plan to grab us a plan B before we leave, as well as do a favor for the town of Melora's Quiver before we get out of here. And I'm sure this will perk some of you up. A plan to get you some extra gold before we leave.
Ooh, gold.
I'm quite interested. Does this involve
I heard about
brawling of any sort?
Does this involve what?
Brawling.
It may involve a tad bit of brawling, Grim.
Oh, good.
Kate,
Yes.
do you think I can disguise myself as one of them? Do you think that would work?
Disguise yourself as one of who?
As them, make my clothes exactly like them. Try to fit in.
One of who, John?
Like who,
You know,
John?
the thugs. I thought we were trying to get in there.
She hasn't said that.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah,
I thought we were talking about that. I got totally sidetracked.
you're
My
mixing
bad.
the old season 2 with the current season 2. Give
Yeah,
me
I'm
about 10
sorry.
seconds and we'll get there. So,
Kate,
yes.
does this have anything to do with the new, I suppose it's a guard barracks going up in the middle of town?
Yes. If you'll remember the thugs that you allowed to live and didn't brutally murder out in the desert, they ran back to town. There is a sort of mob growing and taking over Melora's Quiver. Melora's Quiver is absolutely a pimple on the face of Medine, but it was a lovable pimple, one that added character to the face. But these are making it into something horrible and grotesque. These thugs are taking away people's sense of adventure. They're stealing. They're making people pay for protection. Many of the stalls in town are having to pay these thugs for protection. And as you saw out in the desert, they stole my kill as I was sleeping and tried to leave me for dead. And so I believe that they have something that I'd like to steal from them. And in the process, maybe we take a few out. Maybe we clean up Melora's Quiver so she's a little bit more fun to come back to. More adventure can be happening. And maybe we make a few friends along the way. Who knows? But what I want to do is, as a plan B for us traveling through the Bone Mountains, I know that Arlo is a druid. I know he has many powers, and I'm sure the rest of you do as well. But I witnessed these thugs cart in a cart full of potent dynamite only a few days ago. And I think if we're going to go and try to break into a dwarven fortress through an avalanched valley through the Bone Mountains, a fat pile of dynamite would be very useful, don't you think?
Absolutely.
It certainly sounds interesting.
I heard a lot about danger and adventure and things like that, but then there was going to be some creatures later, right up in the mountain, what people never seen before. So, yeah, we're going to go with whatever you just said, and then creatures later, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, yeah, let's do it then.
And here's the kicker. If we can get inside of their fortress, she does air quotes, if we can get inside to their fortress, there's also a safe that they keep inside. And I have to imagine that all the gold that they steal from people here in Melora's Quiver goes into that safe. And I would not be against stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, for the time being, ourselves.
Now, I normally would have a problem with that, but seeing as how it's those who have squandered Melora's name and taken from adventurers, I could see us dismantling their organization.
Grim leans forward in his chair. He's excited. And so he just looks at Kate with very steely determination and just says, "You point the way, and I will tear down any doors in our path."
Eros, what about you?
So we're just trying to stealthily get in there?
Well, I'd say we need to sit here together for a brief moment and make a plan. And that is going to be tonight's episode of Dungeon Boys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope for listeners it wasn't a too terribly slow of an episode for you. The shopping episodes, they can get slow, but it's certainly fun for me to be able to talk in voices and try to make you guys laugh and have a good time, as well as it's fun for me to give you items that I have made for you to be able to use. So how we feeling, Dungeon Boys?
Feel good.
I feel great.
I'm happy with my shopping trip.
I'm feeling like I want to splice the eye hole rope and the unknotting rope together. And
Oh.
see what happens.
You just become a rope. You just twine man. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Dungeon Boys. We're getting set up for some action. We're getting set up for some lore. We're getting set up for some cool things. Hopefully that will be revealed. But there's always a setup before you get to go downhill. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this show and you're listening to it through a podcast app, please consider rating us or sharing us with your friends. If you're watching this on YouTube, please consider doing the same thing. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I'm not always convinced that more than the normal people that I hear from on a regular basis, which are very few. My man Mark, and a few others who religiously, it seems like, watch the show. Rob as well, and a few others. We would love to hear from anybody who likes the show. I would love to hear from you. If you want to, there's a link to the Discord in this podcast, as well as there are several other social media links attached to the podcast where you can find a way to get in touch with us. And as always, you can email us, tankmediagames@gmail.com. I truly would just love to hear from you. Would love to hear your critiques, but also would just love to hear from people who say, I enjoy the show. Thank you guys for making it. Of course, I know it would make these boys feel good to hear from people as well. So if you're willing to just say hello and let us know that you listen, that would be great. We've been making the show a long time, so it's a lot of fun. But let us go, and we will shut down the episode, and we will be back with more episodes of Dungeon Boys next week. I've talked a lot, so I'm going to let the Dungeon Boys say goodbye. We love you very much.
Bye.
Toodles.
Peace.
Later.
All right, we did it. And Twitch, we're done with you as well. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed it. It was definitely a shopping trip kind of day. I feel like the stream cut out in the middle of the stream for some reason. I don't know why that is. I don't know why that would have been, at least. I'm going to pop over here and look at my little dashboard. Nope, it says the session was 2 hours and 46 minutes long, so maybe something's going on with Streamlabs. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. And as always, we care about you very much. Thank you for coming by live, So guys, I think we tell the Twitch folks good night, and we're gonna let them go.
Bye-bye.
Sound good.
Good night, Twitchers and Twitchettes.
Goodbye.
night.
Goodbye. We love you very much. Good night.